So Miao Miao moved her eyelashes and heard a familiar sound. It is her father So Mingan and mother Tang Shiwei who are going to the cloud and rain together again. This is normal, she was only born 2 years ago, her parents are not even 30, she is considered a young couple in this world. In the spacious and warm master bedroom, the curtains cut off the morning light outside, and there is also a lovely curtain between the big bed and the crib next to it. The young couple are enthusiastic and restrained, afraid of being heard by their little daughter. If it wasn't for the fact that there were no elders living with them at home to take care of them, and they didn't invite an aunt, they would have slept in separate rooms with their daughter, even if the current daughter doesn't understand anything. In fact, So Miao Miao understood very well. In her previous life, she was a cat demon who had cultivated for 100 years. The cat demon who has practiced for 100 years has just comprehended the magic of transforming into a human form. Hearing from the old demons that ingesting a man's energy can speed up his cultivation, So Miao Miao came to a brothel. Her skin was very beautiful, and she was regarded as the first card when she entered. Before waiting for the madam to arrange for her to pick up the guests, So Miao Miao watched all kinds of mortal men and women very seriously, accumulating rich experience. However, just when she finally had the opportunity to hold down a benefactor and prepare to practice, Xie Jingyuan appeared. Xie Jingyuan is the master of the Qingxiu Temple, a Taoist priest who is deeply feared by all kinds of old monsters. It is said that he has strong mana, and countless monsters have died in his hands. So Miao Miao has heard of Xie Jingyuan's name for a long time, but she has never met Xie Jingyuan. On that night when the moon was bright and the stars were thin, So Miao Miao saw that the Taoist priest who broke into the door was cold and handsome, much better than the benefactor on the bed, and as young as a fledgling Taoist priest. So Miao Miao lost her benefactor and committed crimes on her own to tease Xie Jingyuan. When she realized that Xie Jingyuan's mana was profound, So Miao Miao immediately wanted to run away, but it was too late. Xie Jingyuan beat her back to her original form in just 2 moves. So Miao Miao's original form is a pure white cat with clear blue eyes. So Miao Miao begged for mercy in every possible way, swearing that it was the first time she came out to do evil, and begged Xie Jingyuan to spare her life because she had not committed any crime. Xie Jingyuan was fair, he spared her life, but brought her back to the Taoist temple, ordering her not to take human form again. Since then, So Miao Miao has become a cat in Qingxiu Temple, whose main job is to catch mice. If the mice dare not come, she can listen to the Taoist priest's lectures. So Miao Miao discovered belatedly that listening to scriptures is also helpful for cultivation. Now, she no longer suffers from being imprisoned, and she willingly stays in Qingxiu Temple. When encountering scriptures that she doesn't understand, she goes to ask Xie Jingyuan. There are also 2 beast monsters in the Taoist temple, one is a male with gorgeous feathers, and has a similar experience to her, and the other is a dog rescued by Xie Jingyuan, who is loyal to him. Xie Jingyuan is usually very busy and always has to go out to catch monsters, but as long as he is in the temple, he will spare time to explain the confusion for the 3 beast monsters. So Miao Miao gradually became less afraid of him. 2 years ago, she went to Xie Jingyuan to give lectures again, and unfortunately met a group of big monsters who came to seek Xie Jingyuan's revenge. During the melee, Xie Jingyuan was seriously injured in order to protect other Taoist priests, and happened to fall beside her. At that time, So Miao Miao looked like a beautiful white cat with white hair. While shivering under the shock of the big demon, she looked sympathetically at Xie Jingyuan who was vomiting blood in front of her. Xie Jingyuan also saw her, his eyes were quiet but gentle, and he told her, "You must cultivate hard and do good with your heart." Before So Miao Miao nodded, Xie Jingyuan wiped off the blood from his lips and stood up. So Miao Miao saw him raise the long sword in his hand, the sword glowed suddenly, and the golden light enveloped the entire Qingxiu temple. Then, So Miao Miao was born in a modern hospital. So Mingan and Tang Shiwei got up, and as usual, they came to the crib to see their daughter first. Seeing her daughter sleeping soundly with her eyes closed, her eyelashes long and curled up, as beautiful as an angel baby, So Mingan couldn't help grinning, and whispered to his wife, "Our Meow Meow is so pretty." Since So Meow Meow was born, this sentence has become So Mingan's mantra, and he has to say it several times a day. Tang Shiwei looked at her daughter with gentle eyes. If it wasn't for the lack of people in Kori, I would have quit my job and returned home. Of course, she was just talking casually. Although she loves her daughter very much, she enjoys the sense of accomplishment of curing diseases and saving lives. So Mingan, if I didn't want to earn more money to make our family's life better, I would also like to play with Meow Meow every day. Tang Shiwei squinted at him. So Mingan laughed. So Meow Meow was almost done pretending. She moved her arms and rubbed her eyes. When she opened her eyes, she saw two big faces leaning into the crib, handsome and beautiful, with gentle and joyful smiles on their faces. When So Meow Meow was a cat, she had no father or mother, and was always bullied by other big monsters. She finally managed to transform into a human, and she was never pampered. As a baby reincarnated into a human, So Meow Meow felt the deep love of father and mother from So Mingan and Tang Shiwei. Bathed in such unconditional care every day, So Meow Meow actually felt that without cultivation, she was only an ordinary person. Ordinary people are also very good. When So Mingan went to take a bath, Tang Shiwei cleaned up for So Meow Meow. When she went to take a bath, So Mingan paid attention to her daughter who was obediently playing with toys while preparing breakfast. So Mingan's cooking skills are superb, and even simple home-cooked dishes made by him are extraordinarily delicious. So Meow Meow sat in the baby dining chair and had breakfast with her parents. So Mingan checked the time and left first. His decoration company is far away from the community, unlike Tang Shiwei, whose hospital is diagonally opposite the community. Tang Shiwei told her daughter two picture book stories. At 7:20, she pushed the baby stroller with one hand and led So Meow Meow out of the house with the other. A total of 6 floors of the new building, 2 families on each floor. The So family lives in 301, and the Xia family lives in 302. Tang Shiwei checked the things in the cart again to make sure nothing was left behind, and went to ring the doorbell of 302. Come, come, come. Grandma Tao opened the door. Knowing that it was Tang Shiwei's mother and daughter, a smile had already appeared on her face. Tang Shiwei smiled at Grandma Tao, "Please." Grandma Tao led So Meow Meow, and said to Tang Shiwei, "You are welcome, go to work quickly, don't worry about your family." Tang Shiwei hummed, touched her daughter's little face again, and went downstairs. She is grateful to Grandma Tao and trusts Grandma Tao very much. Grandma Tao's son Xierong and So Mingan are high school alumni. They are in the same class and at the same table. A few years ago, So Mingan came to Wengzhen community to buy a house. He happened to meet Xierong, and the two deliberately bought 2 houses on the same floor. What's more, the wives of the two were pregnant almost at the same time, and they were admitted to the same hospital at the same time, waiting for delivery in the same delivery room. Xierong's wife had just given birth to a son, and Tang Shiwei also gave birth to a daughter here. Xierong also joked that he wanted the 2 children to marry each other. Due to various fates, Grandma Tao almost regarded So Meow Meow as her own granddaughter. The Xie family had already hired a nanny to take care of their grandson Xie Jingyuan, and Grandma Tao was healthy enough to help, so she didn't want the So family to waste money on handing So Meow Meow to an unreliable aunt. After going to work, Grandma Tao enthusiastically took over the burden of taking care of So Meow Meow during the day. So Meow Meow is very obedient, except for resisting taking a bath. She hardly cries or makes noise at other times, especially now that she can walk and talk. She can play by herself when given a toy, and she is becoming more and more proficient at eating, without spilling on her body at all, cleaner than some older children. Taking care of her is really very simple, so Mingan and Tang Shiwei were not polite to Grandma Tao. Of course, the couple would still give Grandma Tao 500 yuan a month, and Grandma Tao would not take any more. Xierong is capable, and Grandma Tao is not short of money. She takes care of So Miao Miao purely because she likes this child. Grandma Tao has already figured it out. She wants to save all the money given by the So family couple for So Miao Miao, and send it as a red envelope when So Miao Miao is admitted to university. Tang Shiwei left, and Grandma Tao also brought So Miao Miao into Xie's house. So Miao Miao skillfully looked for Xie Jingyuan's figure. That's right, Xie Jingyuan was reincarnated with her. By chance, both parents also gave them their original names. So Miao Miao has observed the facial features of the two, and it seems that they will also grow up to look like the previous life. At this time Xie Jingyuan also had breakfast, sitting on the carpet near the balcony, holding a picture book in his hand. Glancing at So Miao Miao indifferently, Xie Jingyuan continued to read. Grandma Tao asked So Miao Miao to sit next to Xie Jingyuan, bent over and coaxed, "Grandma still has something to do, Miao Miao will play with brother first." So Miao Miao nodded obediently. When Grandma Tao and Auntie Song, the nanny, went to another room, and there was no one else in the living room, so Miao Miao didn't want to sit down anymore. Her small body got down, turned over, and lay on her back, holding a soft rubber pinch in her hand. Squeezing the ball, he glanced at Xie Jingyuan with big eyes. Xie Jingyuan glanced at her. So Miao Miao looked at the cover of the picture book in his hand, and asked sincerely, "Can the Taoist priest understand?" After reincarnation, So Miao Miao lost her original cultivation, but she still has the sense of smell belonging to a demon. Even if the baby can't see anything, she can still distinguish the people around by her breath. From the second they met in the hospital, So Miao Miao could smell the familiar scent from Xie Jingyuan's body. It was clear, like autumn dew condensed on the grass and trees. When she was 6 or 7 months old, when Grandma Tao put her and Xie Jingyuan together, So Miao Miao always liked to crawl or roll to Xie Jingyuan's side to test, and when she couldn't speak, she grabbed a small toy sword to imitate Xie Jingyuan's sword trick. Xie Jingyuan didn't respond. She gestured at him with the toy cat again. At first Xie Jingyuan probably didn't want to talk to her, but after being pestered by her, Xie Jingyuan finally admitted it. So Miao Miao is very happy. It is always good to have an acquaintance by her side when she comes to this strange world. After being able to speak, So Miao Miao liked to chat with Xie Jingyuan. She is not used to calling brother Xie Jingyuan, but in private she still likes to call him Taoist. What's more, Xie Jingyuan's expression is more like the Taoist she knew in her previous life. Xie Jingyuan looked at the Chinese-English bilingual picture book in his hand, and nodded without looking sideways. Grandma Tao is a well-educated old lady who gives him 30 minutes of early childhood education every morning and afternoon. Xie Jingyuan has been studying for a year, and he won't show it, but he has memorized all the words and vocabulary. If he is not afraid of arousing Grandma Tao's suspicion, he can even read some books of adults. Of course, those books were all placed in the study room, and he only saw them when Grandma Tao carried him over, but he couldn't reach them. The Taoist priest is so powerful, I just can't understand it. So Miao Miao pinched the soft ball to express her envy. Xie Jingyuan remembered that when Grandma Tao was teaching him and So Miao Miao at the same time, she didn't want to learn at all, and would crawl to the side to play with toys or simply sleep after listening for a while. The world is easy to change, and the nature is hard to change. So Miao Miao, who was a cat, likes to sleep, but she still loves to sleep after becoming a human. At least she is willing to listen to the scriptures carefully when she can practice, but now. Xie Jingyuan shook his head. A cat is a cat, he can't ask too much of her. Sure enough, when Xie Jingyuan finished flipping through this new early education book bought by Grandma Tao, and then went to see So Miao Miao, the ball in her hand had already rolled away, and the little girl closed her eyes and was about to fall into a deep sleep. Grandma Tao and Aunt Song's footsteps and voices came towards the living room. So Miao Miao's long eyelashes trembled. Xie Jingyuan reminded, "I'm going to the park." So Meow Meow listened, yawned, stretched, and sat up. Eating, sleeping, and going to the park to play, this is their life now, so comfortable. Grandma Tao pushed So Meow Meow, and Aunt Song pushed Xiejing Yuan, and walked out of the warm community side by side, heading for the lakeside park. The two baby strollers are from the same brand and model, only the color is different, one is black and the other is pink. Xiejing Yuan was wearing a small black coat, sitting upright, revealing a fair and handsome face. So Meow Meow lay comfortably in the cart, her big eyes casually watching the greenery and pedestrians on the side of the road. The two children are so beautiful, they attracted a lot of attention, and some people chatted with Grandma Tao, are they twins? They are so cute. So Meow Meow looked at the young mother who was asking the question, and then at Xiejing Yuan. Seeing Xiejing Yuan pursing his lips slightly, he seemed unhappy. So Meow Meow understood Xiejing Yuan's dissatisfaction very well. He is the majestic master of the Qingxiu Temple, who slays demons and eliminates demons, but she is just a little cat demon captured by him. How can she be qualified to call him brother and sister? Others may misunderstand that So Meow Meow never thought of being equal to Xiejing Yuan, even though Grandma Tao loved her as her own granddaughter. A white butterfly flew across the green belt, and So Meow Meow was immediately attracted. Xiejing Yuan tilted his head, taking this scene into his eyes. After reincarnation, So Meow Meow retained a lot of cat nature, so he couldn't treat So Meow Meow as a normal person. A cat is a cat, just like So Meow Meow has been able to cultivate a human form in her previous life, she is still a cat, has different ways. The spiritual energy in this world is thin. After 2 years of cultivation, he can only use the thin spiritual energy to strengthen his body, but he cannot cast spells. There are monsters' cultivation methods, so Meow Meow said that she can only use spiritual energy to temper her body, but Xiejing Yuan has no way of knowing how it actually is. In his previous life, Xiejing Yuan was able to deter So Meow Meow with his cultivation and prevent her from causing trouble in the world. In this life, if So Meow Meow's cultivation exceeds his, the scene of So Meow Meow trying to recruit a benefactor from the brothel appeared in his mind, and Xiejing Yuan's eyes turned cold when he looked at her. A monster like this will become very obedient when it meets a strong person, but it will show its ferocity and do evil when it meets a weak person. If a Taoist priest is easily deceived by the cute and naive behavior of the beast monster when it reveals its original form, then he is not far from death. In short, Xiejing Yuan will always keep an eye on So Meow Meow, not to give her the chance to do evil. After walking slowly for about 10 minutes, we arrived at Lakeside Park. Today is a working day, and there are not many tourists in the park. Some old men and women are scattered everywhere, some with their children, and some are practicing and dancing. Grandma Tao and Aunt Song fixed the cart, and carried Xiejing Yuan and So Meow Meow down. Not far away, there was an old grandpa waving a bubble wand, and with a single wave, a string of bubbles flew out. The grandpa's grandson, also about 2 years old, was clumsily chasing after the bubbles. So Meow Meow likes to catch bubbles in the park the most. As soon as her feet touch the ground, she runs over to poke the lower bubbles first, and then jumps up to poke the ones that are slightly higher. Auntie Song looked at it with a smile, and said to Grandma Tao, Meow Meow is usually lazy, but she has strong athletic ability. There are so many children in the community, and Meow Meow is the best dancer. Some children can't jump with both feet off the ground when they are 2 years old. So Meow Meow can jump up 2 steps, and she is even more proficient in jumping down. Grandma Tao is also very proud of So Meow Meow's motor development, but she lowered her head and looked at her grandson Xiejing Yuan. Except for the grandson jumping at the request of the doctor during the physical examination, at other times, Grandma Tao never saw her grandson running and jumping. This grandson is too quiet. Should Jing Yuan catch bubbles too? Grandma Tao coaxed in a kind tone, see how well Meow Meow catches. Xiejing Yuan saw it, so Meow Meow caught her so well, she almost made that real child cry. As soon as the idea came to his mind, the child really cried and ran over to drive So Meow Meow away. So Meow Meow saw the boy with a snot dripping from her nose. She didn't wait for anyone to push her away. She ran away by herself and stood a few meters away, staring at the old man with big eyes, as if she would catch the old man immediately after releasing the bubble stance. Although she looks very cute, the old man loves his grandson even more, so he took his grandson to change places. So Meow Meow still wanted to chase after her, but Grandma Tao hurriedly said, "Come here Meow Meow, you play with brother first, Grandma is going to buy a bubble stick." So Meow Meow ran back to Xie Jingyuan's side. Grandma Tao asked Aunt Song to watch the two children. She went to buy bubble sticks. There are many children in the park, and there are often vendors selling various small toys. Aunt Song continued to do Xie Jingyuan's exercise work, let So Meow Meow dance for a while, and then encouraged Xie Jingyuan. Xie Jingyuan pursed his lips and looked away. A cat is not particular, he has his pride. So Meow Meow spoke for him, "Brother doesn't like dancing, auntie leave him alone." Aunt Song sighed, "Children don't understand adults' worries, they are afraid that there will be problems with Xie Jingyuan's development." Grandma Tao bought a bubble stick and came back, trying her best to lure Xie Jingyuan to catch the bubbles. Xie Jingyuan went directly to the bench by the lake and sat down, facing the lake, wondering what he was thinking. While So Meow Meow was grabbing the bubbles, she heard Grandma Tao worried, "Is this child autistic?" "Aunt Song, the doctors say no, so don't scare yourself." Grandma Tao sighed, took So Meow Meow to the vicinity of Xie Jingyuan, and continued to release bubbles. Some other children were attracted by bubbles and ran over to catch So Meow Meow together. So Meow Meow can go and catch other people's bubbles, but now that others want to hers, she doesn't want to, and knocks down a child on purpose. This scene happened to be seen by Xie Jingyuan. The adults thought it was just an unintentional encounter between children, but he was the only one who saw through So Meow Meow's domineering behavior. How innocent a child is, to be bullied by a cat demon. Xie Jingyuan finally joined the team of children catching bubbles. Grandma Tao was very pleased, and waved harder. But So Meow Meow soon realized that Xie Jingyuan didn't come here to catch bubbles, but to make trouble for her. Whenever she wanted to bump into other children, Xie Jingyuan would stand in front of that child. So Meow Meow was very upset, but given her 9 cat lives, she would not dare to bump into Xie Jingyuan. So Meow Meow had no choice but to avoid the pile of children, and went to catch some flying bubbles. Xie Jingyuan continued to follow her, just to stay away from other children. At this time, a boy about 4 or 5 years old came running from a distance. He was fat and strong. Seeing So Meow Meow jumping up to catch a bubble, the little fat boy approached like a gust of wind and burst the bubble first. Because he came from behind, So Meow Meow didn't pay attention, and was bumped by the little fat boy's arm. How could she bear it when she was only 2 years old? She fell down all at once. "Hey, is Meow Meow okay?" Grandma Tao and Aunt Song rushed over together. So Meow Meow stood up by herself, patted the dust on her skirt, looked up and smiled, "It's okay, it doesn't hurt at all." After Grandma Tao checked carefully, she glanced at the little fat man who stopped not far away. She knew this child, and he was also from the Wengzhen community. His name seemed to be Chen Chuo, and his mother usually took care of him. Chen Chuo bumped into someone, without any intention of apologizing, and said arrogantly to Grandma Tao, "Hurry up and continue making bubbles." "Chen Chuo, how many times have I told you, don't be rude." Chen Chuo's mother hung up the phone in a hurry, approached quickly, stared at her son and taught him a lesson. Chen Chuo made a funny face at So Meow Meow, and ran forward again. His mother apologized helplessly to Grandma Tao and went after her naughty son. Although Grandma Tao was angry, she couldn't be bothered about such a trivial matter, so she started to make bubbles again. As if nothing had happened, So Meow Meow continued to grasp heartlessly. When the soapy water in the bubble wand ran out, the two adults sat under the shade of a tree to rest. So Meow Meow found an ant carrying bread crumbs and squatted on the ground to watch. Xie Yuan didn't want to socialize with adults, so he came over to squat with her. So Meow Meow glanced at him and snorted, "The Taoist priest is so eccentric." Xie Yuan looked at her with puzzled eyes. So Meow Meow lowered her long eyelashes and complained to the ant, "I bumped into other children, and the Taoist priest protected them. When others bumped into me, the Taoist priest stood by and watched. Although she is a cat, she can be regarded as a pure cat. She has some friendship with Xie Yuan, but Xie Yuan even puts strangers in front of her." She pouted, aggrieved. Xie Yuan was silent for a few seconds, then explained, "I didn't see him hit you." So Meow Meow's eyes widened in shock, "You mean, I deliberately fell and wronged him?" Xie Yuan, "No, I mean, I didn't pay attention when he ran over." At that time, he was watching her catch bubbles. When Chen Shuo rushed over suddenly, he didn't even have time to stop her. So Meow Meow half-believed, stared at him for a few seconds, and suddenly asked, "Then if someone deliberately bullies me, will you protect me?" She is just a 12-year-old girl now, and she has no ability to protect herself at all. Once the adults are far away, even a dog can rush out to scare her. Xie Yuan nodded. So Meow Meow was satisfied. Xie Yuan in her previous life was too powerful, which caused her to ignore one thing: the current Xie Yuan is only a 12-year-old boy. However, you can't intentionally bully others. Xie Yuan demanded. So Meow Meow was upset again, "When did I deliberately bully others? They came to grab my bubble first." Xie Yuan, "Aren't you robbing others too?" So Meow Meow, "That kid can't catch bubbles at all, and it would be a waste if I didn't catch them, but I can catch all the bubbles released by Grandma Tao." With such a reasoning, Xie Yuan was speechless. The two children were squatting on the ground, mumbling what they were talking about. Aunt Song smiled and said to Grandma Tao, "Look at how well Jing Yuan and Meow Meow play, they are not autistic." Grandma Tao also laughed, took out a drinking cup from the cart, and was just about to walk towards the two children when a phone call came. Grandma Tao took out the flip phone her son bought for her during the Chinese New Year, looked at the caller ID, then at her grandson, and raised it to her ear after answering the call. "Xierong, Mom, I'll bring Lily over at noon, you should prepare a few more dishes." Grandma Tao's eyes sank, "How long have you guys known each other, and this is going to be brought home, are you planning to get married?" Xierong coughed, "I've been with Lily for half a year." Grandma Tao was too lazy to listen to her son's love history, so she interrupted, "You just said whether you have any plans to marry her, and if you have any plans, you can bring them back, if not, let Jing Yuan see less." Xierong paused for a moment, then said embarrassingly, "Lily is pregnant, I just found out." Grandma Tao now understands that not only will her son remarry soon, but she will also have multiple grandsons or granddaughters soon. The last time the daughter-in-law was so confident, not long after her maternity leave, the car she was riding in collided with a drunk driver, and she died on the spot. Xierong was just 29 years old. He was rich and handsome, and it was normal for him to remarry. Grandma Tao just loved her grandson. Anxi in mid-April is sunny and breezy, which is just right for children to bask in the sun. A few days ago, Grandma Tao would stay in the park until about 11 o'clock before returning home. Today, her son and new daughter-in-law were coming, so Grandma Tao had to return at 9:30. "Meow Meow, let's play again in the evening." Worried that So Meow Meow hadn't played enough, Grandma Tao coaxed kindly. So Meow Meow doesn't mind, she has fun playing outside, and she is also very comfortable staying at home, a cat can move and be still. Grandma Tao handed over So Meow Meow to Aunt Song, and she came to push Xie Yuan's stroller. Thinking about something, Grandma Tao didn't notice a small stone on the road, and the stroller jolted slightly. Grandma Tao finally came back to her senses. Seeing that her grandson was still sitting upright, he didn't look frightened at all, he was obedient and steady. Grandma Tao couldn't help sighing. A 2-year-old child is young, but there are many strange faces in the family, and the child must be able to notice something. After hesitating, Grandma Tao said softly to Xie Jingyuan, Dad will come later, and there is Aunt Jiao, who is Dad's new girlfriend. If Dad marries her, she will be your new mother. Gone. Xie Jingyuan turned his head, his eyes were black and white, like two quiet springs, without wind or waves. What does such a young child know? Grandma Tao smiled at her grandson, and asked tentatively, does Jingyuan want a new mother? Xie Jingyuan knew very well that if Xierong wanted to marry that Aunt Jiao, it didn't matter whether he agreed or not, even Grandma Tao couldn't interfere with Xierong's marriage. On one side was his son, on the other was his grandson, he didn't want to embarrass Grandma Tao. Think. Xie Jingyuan replied simply, and turned around after speaking. Grandma Tao has brought her grandson for 2 years, and knowing that her grandson has such a seldom talking personality, she didn't say any more. What can she say? She has never met Jiao Lily. Before getting to know Jiao Lily, she can't praise Jiao Lily to her grandson, nor can she speak ill of Jiao Lily. So Miao Miao didn't know about Xie's family yet. When she reached the downstairs of the community, Aunt Song was in charge of moving the car up. She took Grandma Tao's left hand and climbed the stairs with her short legs. After climbing to the 3rd floor, she was a little tired. If she was still a cat, even if she didn't have 100 years of cultivation, it would be nothing to climb 3 flights of stairs. She could climb a tree several meters high in the blink of an eye. Because she was tired, as soon as she entered Xie's house, so Miao Miao went to lie down on the carpet. Miao Miao, come and wash your hands. So Miao Miao didn't want to move. Xie Jingyuan wiped his hands, then took the towel prepared by Grandma Tao for So Miao Miao, and walked to So Miao Miao's side. So Miao Miao opened her eyes and saw Xie Jingyuan standing with his back to the sunlight outside the window, handing out a small beige towel. It was so comfortable to lie down, plus she was used to being taken care of by her parents, so Miao Miao subconsciously stretched out her hand, looked at Xie Jingyuan and said, wipe it for me. Xie Jingyuan frowned, is this cat too lazy? The two were in a stalemate. Just when So Miao Miao was about to sit up, Xie Jingyuan grabbed her wrist and began to wipe her hands. So Miao Miao smiled and whispered, thank you, Taoist priest. Xie Jingyuan imagined that what he was holding was a cat's paw, and the awkwardness in his heart disappeared. Wiping a cat's paw is nothing. He also took the bone of a wolf dog in the Taoist temple, and healed the wings of a male tit. Aunt Song washed a plate of strawberries and sent them to the 2 children. This is a strawberry grown in a greenhouse. It is very expensive to sell. Grandma Tao loves her children and is willing to buy it. So Mingan and Tang Shiwei will often send some fruits over. There were delicious ones, so Miao Miao sat up straight, picked the biggest one and took a bite. The strawberries are bright red, 8 parts sweet and 2 parts sour, so delicious. So Miao Miao once again sighed that being a human is good, eating, drinking and having fun is much richer than being a cat. The voices of Grandma Tao and Aunt Song came from the kitchen, as if they were discussing what to add for lunch, so Miao Miao listened to it a few times, and asked Xie Jingyuan quietly, is your house coming? Xie Jingyuan didn't eat the strawberries, and held a book in his hand. When he heard this question, he didn't raise his head and said, well, Xierong's girlfriend may get married. With half a strawberry stuffed in So Miao Miao's mouth, she was so surprised that she couldn't bite any more. There was strawberry juice dripping down the corner of her mouth. Xie Jingyuan saw it, picked up a small towel beside her and wiped it off for her, showing disgust, let's talk after eating. So Miao Miao quickly ate the strawberries, approached Xie Jingyuan and asked, so, do you want more stepmothers? Cat demons don't pay much attention to marriage, and kittens will be abandoned by their mother cats when they grow up. So Miao Miao doesn't even know who her parents are, and she has no interest in knowing. But she had heard about the situation of ordinary people. Many stepmothers would treat the children left behind by their original spouses harshly. If Xie Rong married a new man, Xie Jingyuan would definitely be miserable. So Miao Miao looked Xie Jingyuan up and down. In his previous life, Xie Jingyuan was a Taoist priest. He knew both Taoist Kung Fu and spells. This world cannot practice magic spells, but Xie Jingyuan can use spiritual power to strengthen his body. When he grows up, he can learn Taoist Kung Fu. He is sure that he is not afraid of anyone when it comes to fighting. Just be afraid, he will meet a stepmother with a vicious heart and no chance to grow up. This is a society ruled by law. Child abuse is against the law. Facing Su Miao Miao's concern, Xie Jingyuan looked indifferent, and reminded Su Miao Miao, sleep less and learn more about the common sense here. Su Miao Miao didn't take it seriously. It's fine for the Taoist priest to know, and if I don't understand anything, I just ask you. Originally, she was a free cat demon. After being brought back to Qingxiu Temple by Xie Jingyuan, Su Miao Miao took Qingxiu Temple as her home. As the master of the temple, Xie Jingyuan should take care of them. Xie Jingyuan was indeed used to being relied on by the little Taoist priests and the three beast monsters, so he didn't think there was anything wrong with Su Miao Miao's attitude. Auntie Song went to buy vegetables. Grandma Tao simply tidied up the inside and outside. Xie Rong and Xiao Lily came. Grandma Tao came out from the bedroom and saw Su Miao Miao and her grandson eating strawberries, so she didn't disturb the children and went to open the door by herself. Xie Jingyuan continued to read. Su Miao Miao deliberately sat facing the entrance, eating strawberries in her mouth, staring at the entrance with big eyes. "Mom, this is Lily. Hey, she looks so pretty, come in and sit down." Xie Rong's figure first appeared in Su Miao Miao's field of vision. Xie Rong, who was nearly 30 years old, had a tall and straight figure, handsome and elegant, and seemed very approachable, unlike some people, whose appearance was too outstanding, and his temperament was also otherworldly, making people only dare to look at it from a distance, not to get close, such as Xie Jingyuan. Xiao Lily followed Xie Rong closely. She was fair-skinned and petite, with a gentle beauty. It was the first time that she came to meet her parents with her boyfriend. Su Miao Miao took a few glances and breathed a sigh of relief. This Xiao Lily didn't look threatening. "Uncle eats strawberries." Seeing Xie Rong walking towards them with a smile, Su Miao Miao picked up a strawberry and said sweetly, "No matter which world, money is very important. Xie Rong is not a kind and good father, but a generous and generous uncle. Last Chinese New Year, besides a big red envelope, he also bought a pair of small gold bracelets for Su Miao Miao." When Xie Rong saw Su Miao Miao, his heart softened. "My son is cold and indifferent, never clinging to him, let alone acting coquettishly, but the little girl next door is lively, cute and lovable. Miao Miao is so good, you can eat, uncle has eaten." Xie Rong took off his slippers and sat on the hairless carpet specially prepared by Grandma Tao for the two children. Su Miao Miao ate the strawberries by herself, and at the same time observed Xie's father and son as if watching the excitement. Xie Jingyuan looked at Xie Rong, and it was regarded as greeting, but he didn't call dad. In other words, Su Miao Miao has never heard Xie Jingyuan call her parents. Mother Xie left early, and Xie Jingyuan would not be able to speak until then. Although Xie Rong is alive, how can such a father appear once or twice a month? The temple master who is qualified to let the dignified Qingxiu temple call him. Xie Rong still had no self-knowledge. He stroked Xie Jingyuan's head and said, "Call me dad." Su Miao Miao almost choked on the strawberry juice. Xie Jingyuan looked at her coldly. Su Miao Miao was aggrieved, staring at her for what. It was not that she wanted to be his father. Xie Jingyuan pursed his lips. No matter what Xie Rong said was kind or angry, he refused to speak. Xie Rong's face was not very good looking, and he asked Grandma Tao, Do you want to go to another hospital? He still suspects that his son has autism. Grandma Tao also often had such doubts, but Grandma Tao was not very happy when her son said such words in front of Xiao Lily. What are you looking at? Jing Yuan is fine, but if you have time to go home a few times, it's not that I won't kiss you. Xierong frowned and said, the company is busy, it's not like you don't know. Grandma Tao thought to herself, no matter how busy you are, it won't delay your dating. Why, if you have time to spend with women, you don't have time to spend with your children. Grandma Tao was just angry at her son for neglecting her family. From the corner of her eye, she caught a glimpse of Xiao Lily lowering her head in embarrassment. Grandma Tao changed the topic in time, brought a pot of boiled water and a plate of fruit on the tea table, and entertained Xiao Lily with a smile. Xierong took good care of Xiao Lily, sat next to Xiao Lily, and the three adults began to chat. Su Miao Miao seemed to be concentrating on eating strawberries, but she was actually listening seriously. Xierong started a technology company, and the business is on the right track, and it seems to be quite profitable. Xiao Lily was the secretary who joined the company last summer, and she often went on business trips with Xierong. One was a young and wealthy boss, and the other was a gentle and beautiful secretary. They fell in love with each other for a long time, so Xiao Lily became pregnant naturally. The hospital checked and it turned out to be twins. Being in love doesn't necessarily mean getting married, but as soon as Xiao Lily became pregnant, Xierong put marriage on the agenda. Grandma Tao really felt that her son was too emotionally impulsive. The last marriage was a marriage with a son, and the couple didn't have a deep understanding, and the lack of understanding led to a lack of deep relationship. It is said that a child is the crystallization of love, and the foundation of love is not solid. How deep can a father have for his child? Unlike a mother, who has the experience of being pregnant for 10 months, even if she doesn't like men, it is difficult for her to worry about her child. Lay down. Grandma Tao believed that her son's affection for Xiao Lily would not be too deep. However, since they have children, Grandma Tao can't interfere anymore. It's better for her son to be responsible than to be the kind of man who plays with women at will because of his money. When is the wedding? May Day, it's an auspicious day. Marriage with a child, the wedding should be soon rather than later, otherwise it will not look good. Mom, you just need to take care of Jing Yuan. I'll make preparations for the wedding. When the time comes, you can just go and have dinner, so you don't have to worry about being tired. Grandma Tao looked at her grandson, she really didn't have that much time to spare, and asked, where do you live after you get married? The old house is too old, waiting to be demolished at any time. This new house in Wengzhen district has 4 rooms, 3 bedrooms, and 1 study room. The master bedroom is reserved for her son, and she sleeps in the second bedroom. The second bedroom, if the son's new daughter-in-law moves in again, plus the twins who are about to be born, it will look crowded. Grandma Tao felt that her son might have other plans. Xierong really said, it's a bit far away from the company. I'm going to buy a new apartment near the company. I will live there with Lily in the future, so it's convenient for us to go to work. Grandma Tao, where's the child? Xierong, it's enough for you to bring Jing Yuan alone. When Lily gives birth, we will hire another aunt. Grandma Tao looked at Xiao Lily. Xiao Lily lowered her head and squeezed her hands. Grandma Tao's pretty face turned redder and redder. In the end, Grandma Tao just smiled and said yes. The son is willing to leave their grandparents and grandchildren behind, so what does it matter to others? Whatever, she and the grandson are not bothered, as there are fewer people and it is quieter. Xiao Lily was always embarrassed to see Grandma Tao. The atmosphere in the 1990s was not as conservative as before, but pregnancy out of wedlock is not something to be proud of. Xierong is easy in front of his own mother, she has a thin skin. At a loss, Xiao Lily silently looked at the 2 children. A handsome 2-year-old boy and a beautiful 2-year-old girl are sitting together eating strawberries, quiet and well-behaved, neither crying nor fussing. The same white, the same good-looking, really like twins. Xiao Lily looked at her abdomen. It would be great if she was pregnant with twins. She would definitely be as cute as Xie Jingyuan and So Miao Miao. Xierong noticed that she seemed to like the two children very much, and coaxed So Miao Miao with a smile, "Miao Miao, this is Aunt Xiao." So Miao Miao ate the last bite of strawberry and obediently called out. Xierong glanced at his own son who was only 2 years old but had a cold expression. He didn't force him, lest the son refuse to speak and the adult would lose face. Xiao Lily thought, Xie Jingyuan must not like her. Stepmother is almost equivalent to a derogatory term, even children understand it. In this way, she couldn't let go even more. Grandma Tao did her best to treat guests, and didn't care about the rest. The daughter-in-law will not live with her in the future, so why should she waste her time trying to get acquainted? After lunch, Xierong and Xiao Lily left hand in hand, leaving several large packages of presents, some to honor the elders, and some to the children. Grandma Tao sent the couple out the door, and when the door closed, her smile immediately faded. It is said that she loves the house and the black, and now she doesn't like her son, and it is even more difficult to have a good impression of her daughter-in-law who can't come. Turning her gaze, seeing So Miao Miao yawned, Grandma Tao smiled sincerely again, "Miao Miao is sleepy, let's go, Grandma will coax you to sleep." Xierong never came back. The big bed in the master bedroom became So Miao Miao and Xie Jingyuan's nap bed. Grandma Tao carried So Miao Miao to wash her hands and mouth, and then put the doll on the big bed. Many children need adults to put them to sleep. So Miao Miao doesn't need it. She can fall asleep just by touching the bed. She can sleep anywhere on the carpet, sofa, or car seat. There was a small pillow next to So Miao Miao. Xie Jingyuan crawled over it by himself, and lay down with his back to So Miao Miao. Grandma Tao sat by the bed, looked at him lovingly and pitifully, and asked softly, "Does Jingyuan like Aunt Xiao?" Xie Jingyuan looked at her and said, "I like Grandma." To him, Xiao Lily was just an irrelevant person, including Xierong, who had nothing to do with him. In just 4 words, Grandma Tao almost cried. "Go to sleep, Miao Miao is asleep." Grandma Tao gently patted her grandson's little shoulder. Xie Jingyuan closed his eyes. Grandma Tao sat by the bed for more than 10 minutes, making sure that her grandson was fast asleep. She stuffed 2 pillows under the sheets on 3 sides of the bed to prevent the children from turning over and falling to the ground, and then walked out lightly. Not long after, Grandma Tao and Aunt Song were talking in the living room, discussing Xierong and Xiao Lily's marriage. The voice is very soft, and some words can't be heard clearly. Xie Jingyuan didn't bother to tell the difference. The curtains were drawn, and there was only a glimmer of light below. Dad, stepmother. Father, stepmother. In his previous life, he also had a similar weak relationship. His biological mother died young, and his father remarried to Suxian. He lived with his grandmother in his hometown in the countryside. After his grandmother died of illness, at the age of 10, he entered the concept of Kingxiu. His father had never looked for him, and he had already made a break with Hongchen, and he was devoted to the Tao, to slay demons and demons. Walk the road you have walked a long time ago, and everything you see and encounter is just a passing cloud. He only wishes Grandma Tao a long and healthy life. Xie Jingyuan fell asleep. Limited by the child's body, he slept for 3 hours during this afternoon nap, and woke up at 4:30 in the afternoon. Xie Jingyuan sat up and looked to the side. So Miao Miao was still sleeping soundly, her arms were raised above her head, her legs were spread apart, the quilt had already been kicked away. An city is located in the north, so it is still a bit cool in the evening. Xie Jingyuan helped her cover the quilt, climbed out of bed, and went to the bathroom of the master bedroom by himself. Grandma Tao was watching TV in the living room, and when she heard the sound of the toilet flushing, she immediately pressed the remote control. Xie Jingyuan stepped on the small stool to wash his hands, opened the door, and saw Grandma Tao standing at the door. Our Jing Yuan is so smart, we can go to the bathroom by ourselves at such a young age. Grandma Tao looked proud, and she believed more and more that her grandson is a child prodigy with an extraordinary IQ, and he is not autistic. Xie Jing Yuan drooped his eyelashes, quietly like a little mute. Grandma Tao took it for granted, looked at the bed, saw that Su Miao Miao was twisting, and was about to wake up, so she called Aunt Song to come and take care of her. Different from Xie Jing Yuan's self-reliance, Su Miao Miao has been spoiled by Su Minggan and his wife, she will never waste her energy if she can do it herself. Aunt Song smiled and helped Su Miao Miao wash her face and comb her hair. It seems that she has to take care of the two children, but in fact Xie Jing Yuan has long been independent and only needs her to help with the laundry. If the work is too easy, Auntie Song will feel guilty about getting her salary, but she feels at ease when she has many Su Miao Miao. Su Miao Miao has thick and soft hair. Aunt Song helped her tie two small and put on a pink butterfly hairpin, which made her look beautiful. It was still early, Aunt Song stayed at home to prepare dinner, and Grandma Tao led a child downstairs. There is a small amusement park in the warm community, and children like to come here to play. Su Miao Miao likes to play on the swings, ran over to see that both swings were occupied by children. Su Miao Miao looked at Xie Jing Yuan disappointed. Xie Jing Yuan didn't understand what she meant. Did he want him to drive away the other children? This is too domineering. Come on, Miao Miao and brother will sit on the seesaw. Grandma Tao led Xie Jing Yuan to the empty seesaw, and called Su Miao Miao over. Xie Jing Yuan. Considering that Su Miao Miao must play something to be satisfied, instead of letting her bully real children, Xie Jing Yuan would rather be troubled by himself. Grandma Tao carried Xie Jing Yuan up first, and then Su Miao Miao. The green seesaw began to swing up and down. Every time it was Su Miao Miao's turn to lower, her little feet would stomp heavily on the ground, and when it was Xie Jing Yuan's turn, he was expressionless and perfunctory. Su Miao Miao snorted, Taoist priest really doesn't know how to enjoy, anyway, he has become a child, so it's fun, you know, the prince and princess in the palace didn't have so many interesting toys in the previous life. At 6:30 in the evening, Su Minggan came back from the company first, carrying tonight's ingredients in one hand, and rang the doorbell of 302 with the other. Dad! Su Miao Miao threw herself into Su Minggan's arms. As ruthless as a cat, he has been loved by others for so long, and he has already recognized this pair of relatives. Su Minggan picked up his daughter with a smile, stood at the door of 302 and chatted with Grandma Tao for a while, mainly to find out if her daughter was mischievous today, and then the father and daughter went home. Su Miao Miao had already eaten. Su Minggan fastened her apron, and started preparing his dinner with Tang Shiwei neatly. Su Miao Miao sat at the door of the kitchen, watching him busy. Miao Miao loves to eat fish, and I'll eat some with my parents later. Su Minggan was busy with his hands, chatting with his daughter from time to time. Su Miao Miao put her chin in both hands, turned her big eyes, and asked, Father, if my mother dies, will you find me a stepmother? Su Minggan almost cut off his hand. He looked at his daughter in disbelief. Where did you hear such words? Su Miao Miao looked naive. Uncle Xie came today and brought Aunt Jiao along. Grandma Tao said they are getting married. This is really the first time Su Minggan has heard of this. It is true that he and Xierong are good buddies, but they each have their own families and are busy with their own careers. Unless they run into each other in the corridor, they usually have no chance to chat, and Xierong will not take the initiative to mention new things to him. Love affair. Xie Jing Yuan's mother has only been away for more than a year, and Xierong is going to remarry so soon? Father, you haven't answered my question yet. Su Miao Miao asked persistently. Su Minggan came back to his senses and met his daughter's earnest face. He put down the kitchen knife, wiped his hands with his apron, walked over to pick up his daughter, and answered with the same seriousness, First, mother will not die, and mother will live a long life. Stay with us. Second, dad likes mom the most, and only likes mom. Even if something happens to mom, dad will not marry someone else, and will not find a stepmother for Meow Meow. People are different, and not all men are as passionate as Xierong. So Meow Meow doesn't have many opportunities to deal with people. In her previous life, she had been a cat for 100 years. She had just transformed into a human form. She had only lived in the brothel for half a month before being caught by Xiejing Yuan. Priests of desire. But So Meow Meow faintly felt that what So Mingan said was true and worthy of her trust. This is the best, she doesn't want any stepmother, she only likes Tang Shiwei's mother. At this time, Tang Shiwei also came back. Meow Meow is acting like a baby with dad again, isn't she? She asked knowingly. So Meow Meow slipped from her father's arms and ran to her mother to hug her. So Mingan returned to the operation, and by the way shared the big news about the neighbor's house with his wife. Tang Shiwei was also stunned. Seeing that her parents were very interested in this matter, So Meow Meow revealed, Aunt Chiao is pregnant with twins. So Mingan, Tang Shiwei. Shock is shock, after all, it is someone else's business. When the food was served, So Mingan concentrated on helping his daughter pick out the fish bones, and then put the fish meat that was sure to be bone-free on her daughter's dinner plate. So Meow Meow ate with great relish. The fish cooked by Aunt Song was not as delicious as the fish cooked by her father. Tang Shiwei discussed with her husband while eating, April 25th is our Meow Meow's second birthday, shall we go to the photo studio to take a set of commemorative photos? So Mingan, okay, what day of the week is it? Tang Shiwei, Friday, let's go on Saturday, it's not a bad day. So Mingan, well, eat cake at home on Friday night, and go to take pictures the next day, and then go to the zoo. So Meow Meow, what is a zoo? Tang Shiwei, there are all kinds of animals in the zoo, including monkeys, lions, and tigers. You will know when you go there. So Meow Meow thought for a while and asked, is there a cat? Tang Shiwei smiled, no, cats are too common, and the zoo is full of rare animals. So Meow Meow blinked and continued to eat fish. Tang Shiwei looked at So Mingan, Meow Meow and Jing Yuan have a birthday, let's invite Grandma Tao to go together. So Mingan, sure, the old lady is old, so she may not have thought of these things. Let's take them more and go to the zoo. Let's go together. The next day, Tang Shiwei sent her daughter to Grandma Tao, and by the way mentioned plans to take birthday photos and visit the zoo. Grandma Tao smiled, then it's settled, don't buy birthday cakes, I will order them, and everyone will come to our house to eat that night, so there will be more people. The night before her birthday, Grandma Tao cooked 2 small bowls of longevity noodles for So Meow Meow and Xiejing Yuan. The hand-rolled noodles made by Grandma Tao, the noodles are smooth and fragrant, and a poached egg, 2 fish are added on top, and of course green vegetables are indispensable. So Meow Meow almost ate up the whole bowl, leaving only the vegetables. Meow Meow can't be a partial eclipse. Grandma Tao kindly encouraged her. So Meow Meow looked at Xiejing Yuan, he ate slowly, there was still some left, but the green vegetables had already been eaten. So Meow Meow really wanted to give Xiejing Yuan her green vegetables, but unfortunately Grandma Tao kept watching, she had no chance and could only eat them obediently. The next morning, So Meow Meow received a birthday present from her parents. What So Mingan gave was a gold bar, and what Tang Shiwei gave was a set of beautiful new clothes. The couple prepared gifts separately, and wanted to compare whose gift would be more pleasing to the daughter. With 2 gifts in front of her, So Meow Meow's eyes were directly attracted by the gold bars. What a little money fan! Tang Shiwei was willing to admit defeat and kissed her daughter. So Mingan, it's good to be a money fan. When you grow up, you only focus on making money, so you don't have to worry about being scammed. The couple helped their daughter put on new clothes, sent them to Xie's house, and went to work. Grandma Tao and Aunt Song were still busy, so Miao Miao sat alone on the carpet with Xie Jingyuan. The child's eyes were still developing, and he couldn't read for a long time. Xie Jingyuan sat facing the window, as if attracted by the scene on the road outside. So Miao Miao was lying beside her, but felt that he seemed to be meditating, but it was just that he didn't assume the serious meditation posture. Master Dao, are we good friends now? So Miao Miao asked in a low voice. Xie Jingyuan lowered his eyes, meeting her black eyes with slightly raised tails. Her eyes, very similar to the cat's eyes in her previous life, seemed innocent and concealed a hint of seductiveness. What do you want to say? He asked lightly. So Miao Miao narrowed her eyes slightly with a smile. Mom and Dad gave me birthday presents this morning, and they also said that when I go to school and make good friends, my good friends will also give me birthday presents on my birthday. Xie Jingyuan, do you want me to give you a gift? So Miao Miao looked forward, but said, if you treat me as a good friend. Xie Jingyuan didn't make any friends, not before practicing, but after practicing, there are only fellow disciples. It's the first time for a cat demon to be a decent human being, so a little bit of greed doesn't hurt. What do you want? Xie Jingyuan asked. His current property mainly includes various picture books and toys. Originally, the two of them read and played together. It is estimated that she is not interested. So Miao Miao's eyes flickered, and she hinted very clearly, I like things that are shiny and shiny. Xie Jingyuan immediately thought of the gold bracelets that Xierong gave them during the Chinese New Year, both he and So Miao Miao had. Gold is valuable property, he didn't like to wear it, so Grandma Tao put it away. If he secretly gave it to So Miao Miao, Grandma Tao would think that the family property had been stolen. If he directly discussed with Grandma Tao, even if Grandma Tao was willing to give it away, So Mingan and his wife would never accept it and would ask So Miao Miao to return it. Xie Jingyuan explained this truth to the cat. So Miao Miao was very disappointed, being a man is so complicated. Xie Jingyuan, these are the ways of the world, you have to study hard. So Miao Miao nodded absently. Xie Jingyuan looked at her disappointed look, thought for a while, walked away, and came back with an extra piece of chocolate in his hand. Xie Jingyuan doesn't like this kind of sweet and greasy snacks, but he knows that So Miao Miao likes to eat them, but the adults strictly control the portion, so Miao Miao can't eat enough every time. Seeing the chocolate, So Miao Miao's eyes lit up, and she snatched it quickly. She ate a piece of chocolate quickly, and licked her lips, including the finger that held the chocolate. Xie Jingyuan frowned and said, don't lick your fingers. So Miao Miao paused. Xie Jingyuan grabbed the small towel that was put aside and helped her dry her dirty little hands. The two were very close, so Miao Miao looked at him, suddenly pouted her lips, and kissed Xie Jingyuan's face. Xie Jingyuan froze all over. So Miao Miao smiled, Dad said, a girl's kiss is very precious, you can't kiss others casually, and you can't let others kiss casually, then I will kiss you for a long time, and it will be considered as a birthday present for you. Xie Jingyuan looked at the cat in front of him with complicated eyes. He has seen with his own eyes that she wants to pick up a brothel benefactor. The old demon has a vicious heart, and doing this kind of thing is full of evil meanings. She is different. Her eyes were pure and clean, but it was the benefactor with lewd eyes, more like a profiteer. In other words, this is a simple cat demon who is ignorant of the world, and has turned into a naive and ignorant child. Xie Jingyuan wiped the place where she kissed with his fingers, and there were some brown stains on his fingertips, which were the chocolate left in her mouth. Xie Jingyuan looked at her with great disgust, it's dirty, don't treat kisses as gifts anymore, no one will like it. She is still young, let's explain it this way for now, when she goes to school, she will learn how to get along with men and women by herself. So Miao Miao was deeply shocked by his eyes. Cats love to be clean, and she is no exception. She always grooms her hair to be as white as snow. This is the first time in her 2 lives that someone thinks it is dirty. Xie Jingyuan didn't need to say anything, so Miao Miao went to wash her mouth by herself. Grandma Tao didn't know about the episode between the children, so she secretly called her son Xierong and asked him to come back tonight to celebrate his grandson's birthday. It doesn't matter how busy you are usually, you must be there for Jingyuan's birthday. Xierong, he is only 2 years old, what can he remember? When he goes to elementary school, I will definitely accompany him. Grandma Tao, if you don't come tonight, you won't use it in the future. After finishing speaking, Grandma Tao hung up the phone, and when she came out to face the child, she smiled amiably again, as if nothing had happened. While the children were taking a nap, Grandma Tao went to the cake shop to pick up the cakes and put them in the refrigerator to cool. After 5 o'clock, Su Minggan came back first. He opened a decoration company and is his own boss. He has more free time. Although he is very busy, he must make time for his daughter's birthday. After returning home and changing clothes, Su Minggan came to 302 to help prepare dinner. My daughter loves fish, so Su Minggan is going to cook braised mandarin fish in braised sauce and stew fish head soup tonight. Su Miao Miao and Xie Jingyuan sat on the carpet. Su Miao Miao sniffed and said to Xie Jingyuan, "My father's fish is very delicious." Xie Jingyuan looked indifferent. Su Miao Miao remembered that Xie Jingyuan used to be a vegetarian in the Taoist temple, and he became a child who couldn't control 3 meals, so he started eating meat, but he usually doesn't pay much attention to his appetite, and the most he eats is vegetables. The two had no common topic on food, so Su Miao Miao sat aside and played with the toy car that Su Minggan had just given to Xie Jingyuan. Xierong and Xiao Lili also came, and also brought gifts for the children. Seeing Su Minggan wearing an apron busy in the kitchen, Xierong took Xiao Lili over and introduced him first, then asked Xiao Lili to accompany the child, and he stood at the door of the kitchen chatting with Su Minggan. Xiao Lili looked at Su Miao Miao who was playing with the car, and then at Xie Jingyuan who had a calm face, and sat awkwardly on the sofa. Grandma Tao helped her turn on the TV, served some fruit and walked away. It was almost 6 o'clock, and Tang Shiwei finally got off work, holding 2 bouquets of flowers in her hand. Su Minggan came out from the kitchen, saw his wife, and asked curiously, "Where did you get the flowers?" Tang Shiwei smiled, "I bought it. Although today is for the children's birthday, we must not forget the 2 great heroes." After changing the slippers, Tang Shiwei gave the flowers to Grandma Tao and Aunt Song respectively. Grandma Tao rolled her eyes with a smile, and even praised Tang Shiwei for her beauty and sweet mouth. After boasting, Grandma Tao took Tang Shiwei to the sofa and introduced Xiao Lili. "We all know each other, and it's time for dinner." Su Miao Miao sat between her parents, Su Minggan and Tang Shiwei first put all their daughter's food on the dinner plate, and then they didn't care about it. Xie Jingyuan over there also ate very well by himself. Seeing this, Xierong flattered Grandma Tao, "It's still my mother who will take care of the children, let's see how good these 2 children are." Su Minggan and Tang Shiwei nodded repeatedly. Grandma Tao waved her hand, "It has nothing to do with me, it was born between the 2 of them. Such an obedient baby is hard to come by." Su Miao Miao looked at Xie Jingyuan proudly while putting food into her mouth. "Listen, everyone praised her for being good." Xie Jingyuan remained expressionless. Xiao Lili felt that Grandma Tao was just being modest. Children must be taught by adults. Grandma Tao is so good at taking care of children. When she gives birth, should I ask Grandma Tao to help? However, Xiao Lili quickly dismissed this idea. It is easy for mother-in-law and daughter-in-law to get along with each other, and Grandma Tao will definitely move there with Xie Jingyuan. The new house is not her and Xierong's small home. We're getting married on May 1st, when that time comes, bring Miao Miao over to dinner. Xierong formally invited Su Minggan and his wife. The couple who had already learned the inside story from their daughter were not surprised, and said yes with a smile. Xiao Lily blushed and guessed that Grandma Tao told her neighbors about her pregnancy. She bit her lips lightly, and looked at Xierong quietly. Xierong noticed it, and didn't take it seriously. Everyone is so familiar, so what if they know, what age is it, and it's not shameful to get pregnant before marriage. He continued to drink with Su Minggan. After dinner was finished, Grandma Tao brought over the cream cake, a 10-ink cream cake with 2 candles inserted on it, and the words Happy Birthday to Miao Miao and Jing Yuan. Su Miao Miao and Xie Jing Yuan were placed side by side on the chairs, blowing out the candles together. Su Miao Miao liked this game and looked at Xie Jing Yuan. Xie Jing Yuan told her with his eyes that the 2 candles belonged to her. Su Miao Miao was impolite, inhaled, puffed up her cheeks, and blew hard. The candle was extinguished, and 2 wisps of smoke rose. Tang Shiwei asked her daughter, "What wish did Miao Miao make?" "Su Miao Miao, I think there is cake to eat every day." The adults laughed, and Grandma Tao asked Xie Jing Yuan again. Xie Jing Yuan didn't want to talk. "Grandma Tao, if you don't say it, don't say it. Let me cut the cake." Both kids got a small portion. Su Miao Miao ate deliciously. She got a little cream on her fingers, and just about to lick it off, remembering Xie Jing Yuan's lesson, she stretched out her little hand to her mother. Tang Shiwei smiled and helped her daughter wipe it clean. Su Miao Miao smiled at Xie Jing Yuan again. Xie Jing Yuan silently looked away. Sitting opposite Xierong, seeing this scene in his eyes, he had another understanding. He felt that Su Miao Miao was showing off to her son that she had a mother, and the son was depressed, so he must be very envious. Thinking of his ex-wife who died in a car accident, Xierong inevitably felt a little sad. So, after eating the cake, he went over to hug Xie Jing Yuan, stroked his son's head and said, "Dad will sleep at home tonight, and we, father and son, will sleep in the same bed." He was full of paternal love, but Xie Jing Yuan said, "I sleep by myself." Xierong. "Grandma Tao, Jing Yuan has already slept in the crib by himself, even I don't want it." Xierong was still a little embarrassed. "Su Mingyan, our family, Miao Miao, also likes to sleep by herself, and she doesn't even want to carry her to the big bed." Su Miao Miao nodded cooperatively. That smart and cute little appearance made Xierong laugh. Anxi opened a Tong Bai Bei photo studio that specializes in taking pictures of children. Tang Shiwei was introduced to Tong Bai Bei by her colleagues when she was still pregnant, and Su Miao Miao's birthday commemorative photo was also taken here. At 8 o'clock in the morning, Su Minggan drove the family members downstairs, and then came up to pick up the children. Grandma Tao and Xie Jing Yuan have already come to 301, while Su Miao Miao has just changed her clothes, put on her bib and is ready to have breakfast. Sitting next to her daughter, Tang Shiwei said helplessly to Grandma Tao, "Miao Miao slept very soundly this morning. If we didn't wake her up on purpose, she would still be sleeping now." "Grandma Tao, then let her sleep, and don't worry about taking pictures. Let me tell you, sleep is very important for children, and you can't force her to wake up in the future." Su Minggan opened the door and came in, and laughed when he heard this. "You are more partial to Miao Miao than us, now we can spoil her, and she will go to kindergarten next year, can we let her go?" "Grandma Tao, that's true, but let's forget about this year, our 2 families are not outsiders." Xie Jing Yuan sat on the sofa, glanced at Su Miao Miao who was concentrating on eating, and remembered the time when he was in King Sugwen. There are 3 monster beasts in the temple. The wolf dog and the are very diligent. They went to the lecture hall early to wait for the scriptures. "Come to sleep. With this kind of personality, I don't know what my grades will be when I go to school in the future." When he retracted his wandering thoughts, Su Miao Miao had finished eating, and Tang Shiwei carried her to the bathroom to rinse her mouth, unbuttoned her bib, revealing the white dress she was wearing today. "We Miao Miao are so beautiful," Grandma Tao praised with a smile. Su Miao Miao also liked this skirt very much, so she ran to the place where the hat was kept, grabbed the hat and put it on herself, and then went to Grandma Tao's face to ask for compliments. It was inevitable that Xie Jingyuan also saw her tilting her head and showing off. The human figures transformed by the goblins are basically male and female, but even among the goblins, Su Miao Miao is the most beautiful one he has ever seen. At this time, she still looks like a child, but her facial features can already see the shadow of her grown-up. If she is still planning to cultivate through the method of fornication, how many ordinary men can refuse her temptation? Thinking of this, Xie Jingyuan looked at Su Miao Miao with cold eyes again. Okay, let's go. Su Minggan was driving, while Grandma Tao and Tang Shiwei were sitting in the back seat, each holding a child. After fastening the seat belt, Tang Shiwei did not forget to tell Su Minggan, drive slowly. Su Minggan looked at the rearview mirror and smiled, don't worry, I promise to drive slower than a bullock cart. This is of course a joke, but it's enough that Su Minggan drives very steadily. At 8:45, everyone arrived at the photo studio. The female store manager looks only in her 20s, young and beautiful, and the 4 shop assistants in the store are also young people of similar age. After the simple reception, the female store manager invited the 2 parents to choose clothes for the children, and each of them could choose 3 sets. Tang Shiwei asked Su Miao Miao to choose by herself. Su Miao Miao listened to the female store manager's introduction, and chose a set of pink and tender ancient costumes, top and bottom skirts, and a set of female schoolgirl outfits in the style of the Republic of China, and finally a sea blue princess dress. Female store manager, oh, we Miao Miao really have a good eye, you have picked out the classic models of the 3 eras. Su Miao Miao turned to look at Xie Jingyuan. She could feel that Xie Jingyuan had little interest, but he was very filial to Grandma Tao, and under Grandma Tao's earnest gaze, Xie Jingyuan randomly ordered 3 sets. Grandma Tao frowned, her grandson's eyesight is not very good, and there are similar sets of these modern styles at home. The female store manager saw that Grandma Tao was not satisfied, and suggested, the 2 children are good friends, how about matching Miao Miao with Jingyuan's? Then take 3 group photos of the 2 of them and count them as gifts from our store. Mainly because the 2 of them are so good looking, I want to keep a set of photos for myself as an advertisement. These words also meant to be a test. If the 2 adults agreed casually, she would really print a set and advertise it. Su Minggan and Grandma Tao are both smart people, they ignored the advertisement and agreed to the proposal of the female store manager. Thus, Xie Jingyuan's 3 sets of clothes became a blue tang suit, a black Republic of China school uniform, and a small white suit. There is only one photographer in the store, and Su Miao Miao will take pictures first. Su Miao Miao stands in front of different decorative backgrounds, her movements are natural and cute, and there are almost no waste photos. Xie Jingyuan is very dull, every photo is only different in standing and sitting postures, and the expressions are all the same. The female store manager, Jingyuan is so cute, he looks like the cold hero in the comics. Su Miao Miao. Xie Jingyuan's aloofness is true, how cute is she? She is called cute. In order for the female store manager to clearly understand what cutie is, when it was their turn to take a group photo for the first time in ancient costumes, Su Miao Miao deliberately hugged Xie Jingyuan's arm, tilted her head towards him, and looked sweetly at the camera laugh. The cameraman shot continuously, capturing the sweetness of the little girl and the astonishment, resistance, and helplessness of the little boy. Because Su Miao Miao and Xie Jingyuan were very cooperative, several sets of photos were taken very quickly, including the family portrait of the 3 members of the Su family, the group photo of Grandma Tao and her grandson, and the group photo of the 5 members of the 2 families. Point. Su Minggan then drove to the zoo. On the way, Su Miao Miao tilted her head and chatted with Xie Jingyuan, Dao, brother, do you know what animals are in the zoo? Xie Jingyuan didn't want to talk about these meaningless topics. Su Miao Miao thought he didn't know, and told him with her fingers, these are not the main point, the key point is the last sentence, brother, there are no cats in the zoo, and mother said cats are too common. Xie Jingyuan gave her a sideways look. Cats are ordinary, and cat demons are also beast monsters that are relatively easy to deal with. Fox demons, snake demons, and spider spirits who cultivated in deep mountains and old forests are much more difficult, and their sorcery is also more ruthless. Ignoring her secret dissatisfaction, Xie Jingyuan turned to look outside the car. Su Miao Miao pouted. Cats may be ordinary, but her snow-white cat is not ordinary at all, much rarer than wolves and tigers. With this in mind, when she arrived at the zoo, Su Miao Miao looked disgusted at all the animals she saw. Wow, this cat is so cute! A woman's voice came from a distance, and Su Miao Miao's heart moved. She instinctively thought that the other party's eyesight and cat recognition were praising her. It wasn't until she followed the voice that she realized that the woman was squatting on the side of the road, facing a green grassland. The tricolor feral cat, which only washes its face with its paws, makes all sorts of cute admiration. Seeing that her daughter seemed to be interested in wild cats, Tang Shiwei led her over. Grandma Tao also led Xie Jingyuan to follow. Su Miao Miao looked at the wild cat from beginning to end, from tail to head many times. Does Miao Miao like cats? Tang Shiwei squatted and asked her daughter. Su Miao Miao said without thinking, I like it. She is a cat, and of course she likes cats. Tang Shiwei, does Miao Miao want to raise a cat? Su Miao Miao finally realized what her mother meant, and quickly shook her head. She only likes one cat, and that is herself, other cats don't like it. It's too ugly. Su Miao Miao said to the wild cat with disgust. The wild cat couldn't understand Su Miao Miao's human words, but it vaguely felt the breath of the same kind, and it was a very powerful and hostile cat. The wild cat looked at Su Miao Miao, then turned and ran away. Su Miao Miao raised the corner of her mouth triumphantly. Xie Jingyuan thought, even if this zoo really raised a cat for tourists to exhibit, Su Miao Miao would never think that their cats have such a high status, but would stand in front of the cat cage and look at the cats inside. Kind of picky and disgusting. She is a domineering cat. After the children's birthdays, it will be May Day and Xierong's remarriage in a few days. Xierong is indeed very busy, and he was married once. He didn't hold the second wedding very lively, it was enough to invite all relatives and friends to the hotel for a meal. Xiao Lily has a gentle personality, and she didn't quarrel with him because of this. She listened to Xierong's arrangements for everything. At 10:30 in the morning, Su Minggan and Tang Shiwei brought Su Miao Miao to the hotel. Su Miao Miao looked around and saw Xie Jingyuan from a distance. He was wearing a small black suit and was sitting beside Grandma Tao expressionlessly. Su Miao Miao waved at him. Xie Jingyuan saw it, but didn't give any response. Su Minggan is Xierong's friend, and the banquet seats are outside the circle of relatives of Xie's family and Qiao's family, so Su Miao Miao has no chance to be closer to Xie Jingyuan. A stage was set up in front of the banquet hall of the hotel, and the host began to preside over the wedding, introducing the process of Xierong and Xiao Lily getting to know each other and loving each other. All this was very fresh and interesting in Su Miao Miao's eyes. She obediently sat on the chair between her parents and watched with relish. Soon, it was time for the groom to kiss the bride. Su Miao Miao subconsciously looked at her parents. Parents often kiss each other. After all, they are at home. She never thought that men and women in this world can hug in public. In her previous life, Su Miao Miao used the body of a cat to walk through the streets and alleys, but she has never seen such a scene. It is said that the brothel is very unscrupulous, and the men and women inside are all different types. Su Minggan and Tang Shiwei were very embarrassed, and their daughter's eyes were like 300 taels of silver in this place. This wedding candy gift box is pretty. Su Minggan cunningly stuffed the palm-sized gift box into her daughter's hand. Su Miao Miao forgot about the kiss. After the banquet, the guests went back to their homes. Su Miao Miao, who was full of food and drink, took a comfortable nap. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Su Minggan and Tang Shiwei took their daughters to go grocery shopping. Su Miao Miao sat on the baby stroller, dazzled by the abundant vegetables and fruits in the vegetable market. There was also a flower stand, and Su Minggan bought a bouquet of red roses. Su Miao Miao found a few bunches of apricot flowers, some branches were full of buds, and some branches had a few blooms. The fresh and tender petals were white and pink. There is an apricot grove on the mountain behind Kingsugwan. Every spring, it will be full of apricot blossoms, which are very similar to those sold here. Mom, I want to buy that. Su Miao Miao pointed to the bunch of apricot flowers that bloomed the most. Compared with peonies and roses, the price of apricot flowers is very cheap. Of course Tang Shiwei bought them for her daughter. The family of 3 returned home with a full load, and when they arrived at the door, Su Miao Miao held the bouquet of apricot flowers, stretched out her hand from her father's arms, and wanted to ring the doorbell of 302. Su Minggan pressed it for her daughter. Grandma Tao came to open the door. Sitting on the carpet in the living room, Xie Jingyuan heard Su Miao Miao's sweet voice, "Grandma, is brother awake? Wake up, is Miao Miao coming to play with brother?" "Okay. Su Minggan, it's time for dinner, Miao Miao will come to see brother after dinner, okay?" "Su Miao Miao, I'll just play with my brother for a while." Su Minggan had no choice but to let go of her daughter. Su Miao Miao stepped on the white indoor shoes specially prepared for her by Grandma Tao, and came to Xie Jingyuan with Xinghua in her arms. Xie Jingyuan raised his head, and the first thing he saw was the bunch of apricot flowers. "Taoist, do you think this flower looks like the apricot flower of Kingsu Temple?" Su Miao Miao sat down and asked in a low voice. Xie Jingyuan's gaze shifted from Xinghua to her fair and chubby face, paused, and nodded. Su Miao Miao smiled, "I think so too, I give it to you." Xie Jingyuan was stunned. Su Miao Miao was thinking about the delicacies her parents bought at the vegetable market, so she put down the flowers and ran away. Grandma Tao saw off the guests and went back to the living room. Seeing her grandson staring at Xinghua, she smiled and said, "Seeing how much Miao Miao likes you, and knows how to send you flowers. When Jingyuan grows up, I need to take care of Miao Miao. You are my brother." Xie Jingyuan thought of the bouquets arranged at Xierong's wedding today. They are all rare varieties, but they are not as pleasing to the eye as this bunch of apricot blossoms that just bloomed. Now that Xierong started another family in the new house, Grandma Tao simply reorganized the master bedroom in 302 and changed it into Xie Jingyuan's bedroom. As soon as Xie Jingyuan changed rooms, Su Miao Miao who came to play found out. Standing in front of the 2-meter wide bed, she looked at the 2 small pillows in the middle, one was Xie Jingyuan's, and the other was for her nap here. Just when Xie Jingyuan wondered if she was thinking about something too much, Su Miao Miao smiled and said to him, "I also want to sleep alone in the big bed, so I will tell my parents tonight." Xie Jingyuan. He should have known what a cat was capable of. Under Su Miao Miao's strong will, Su Minggan and Tang Shiwei officially let their daughter live in the second bedroom that had been decorated long ago. They would open the doors of the master bedroom and the second bedroom when they went to bed at night. Or bedwetting and crying, so they can respond in time. For the first 3 nights when they slept in separate rooms, the couple couldn't sleep well, so they had to check on their daughter after a while to make sure that Su Miao Miao was sleeping well, so the couple were relieved. Time passed while Su Miao Miao was eating, drinking, and having fun day after day. In winter, when the first snow fell in Anqi, Xierong called Grandma Tao to announce the good news. She said that Jiao Lily had given birth to a pair of twins, and the names were all prepared. The elder brother was Xie Jing's, and the younger sister was Xie Wenlin. Grandma Tao took Xie Jingyuan to the hospital to visit. When they came back, Su Miao Miao asked Xie Jingyuan, "Are those 2 children good looking?" Xie Jingyuan, "I'm still young, I can't tell." Su Miao Miao said to herself, "Father said, I was pretty when I was born." Xie Jingyuan pretended not to hear. On the day of the full moon of twins, Xierong and Qiao Lily brought them to the warm community for dinner. Su Miao Miao, who was still under the custody of Xie's family, finally saw these two children with her own eyes. In fact, just as she got close to them, Su Miao Miao was smelled by the baby's milk smell. Just looking at the facial features, she immediately retreated to the living room carpet. I no longer have any interest in the pair of twins. Xierong really wanted to cultivate the relationship between Xie Jingyuan and his younger siblings, so he and Qiao Lily each hugged a child and sat on the carpet. Su Miao Miao deliberately pushed the toy car behind Xie Jingyuan, and she then dodged it logically. Xie Jingyuan's body smelled like autumn dew, she could hardly smell the baby's milk as she leaned against his back. Jingyuan, guess, which is the younger brother and which is the younger sister? Xierong teased his son. Xie Jingyuan looked at the two quilts, one pink and one blue. The answer was obvious. This is Jing's. Xie Jingyuan pointed to the blue quilt and said, if he didn't answer, Xierong would be even more annoying. Xierong smiled, Jingyuan is really smart, how did you guess it? Xie Jingyuan didn't want to answer such childish questions anymore, picked up a toy car left by Su Miao Miao, lowered his head and pushed it around. Brother, let's compete. Su Miao Miao suddenly grabbed her car and stood up, smiling and running towards the bedroom. Xie Jingyuan paused, and grabbed the car to chase her. In the blink of an eye, the two children were gone. Xierong sighed. Qiao Lily, older children definitely prefer to play with older children. When Jingzi and Wenlan grow up, Jingyuan will naturally like them. Grandma Tao was sitting on the sofa knitting a sweater, and the corners of her mouth twitched when she heard this. Where can we kiss brothers and sisters who don't see each other a few times throughout the year? Not to mention the grandson, even she, looking at Su Miao Miao is better than looking at the newly born twins. It's New Year's Eve. Su Minggan's decoration company had a holiday earlier than other companies, half a month before Tang Shiwei's annual leave. Su Minggan relaxed for a few days, and after discussing with Tang Shiwei, he took Su Miao Miao back to his hometown in the county more than 100 kilometers away. Grandpa Su is also engaged in decoration. The company is located in the county seat. Su Minggan will be able to open his own company in Anxi soon after graduating from university. Apart from his outstanding ability, he also wants to thank his childhood influence and his family's financial support. Grandpa Su and Grandma Su like their beautiful and lovely granddaughter very much. They have prepared all kinds of snacks and toys at home in advance. Su Miao Miao had a great time here, but this year, Su Minggan would accompany his wife to Jiangxi in the south to celebrate the New Year, so 2 days before Tang Shiwei's holiday, the father and daughter said goodbye to their grandparents and drove back to Anxi. The air tickets are all bought, and the gifts are packed into the suitcase, just waiting for Tang Shiwei to go on vacation. Before departure, Su Miao Miao came to Xie's house to play as usual. Taoist, tell me, will the plane fly and suddenly fall? Su Miao Miao shared her upcoming itinerary with Xie Jingyuan, and at the same time expressed concern about the unfamiliar means of transportation such as airplanes. When she was a cat demon, her cultivation was not deep, she couldn't fly very far, and she mainly relied on jumping to fly into the air. It was unreliable for mere ordinary people to be able to fly in the sky. Xie Jingyuan simply gave her a popular science on the working principle and safety rate of the aircraft. Because he loves to read, Grandma Tao bought a lot of children's books, most of which are suitable for Xie Jingyuan's current age, but there are also a few books for primary school students, such as 100,000 Whys. Su Miao Miao expressed admiration, the Taoist priest is really amazing, he understands everything. Xie Jingyuan handed her the book 100,000 Whys. Su Miao Miao shook her head, I don't know that many words. When Xie Jingyuan was concentrating on studying, she was always playing. Anyway, you don't have to worry about an accident with the plane. Well, I believe in the Taoist priest. When you arrive at your grandmother's house, Don't bully the children nearby. Don't worry, I never bully people unless they provoke me first. The more Su Miao Miao said this, the more worried Xie Jingyuan became, but it was a pity that he could not go with Su Miao Miao. The day before New Year's Eve, 3 members of the Su family set off. After getting off the plane, Su Minggan first called Grandma Su to report that she was safe. Su Miao Miao listened obediently, and when the call ended, Su Miao Miao raised her head and asked, "Dad, I want to call my brother." Su Minggan dotes on her daughter, and doesn't care about paying a little more for long-distance calls. She dials Grandma Tao's number, and the adults simply say a few words, and the phone is given to the child. Su Miao Miao deliberately walked a few steps away, held the phone and said quietly, "Master, my plane has landed." Xie Jingyuan heard a trace of excitement, he just hummed. Su Miao Miao began to complain, "Flying is not fun at all. I can only stay in a chair and can't move around. There are windows on the plane, and no one can open them. I can't feel the clouds outside." Xie Jingyuan didn't know what to say. Suddenly there was the sound of a child crying from the master bedroom. "Su Miao Miao, Uncle Xie and Auntie Chiao are here." Xie Jingyuan, "Well, come to celebrate the new year, and leave on the second day of junior high school." Su Miao Miao listened to the crying and hummed, "They are so noisy." Xie Jingyuan was non-committal. Normal human babies love to cry. Noisy is noisy, but it is not unbearable. Stop talking, just listen to your lord obediently over there. Su Miao Miao pressed the red hang-up button, interrupting Xie Jingyuan's nagging. "Xie Jingyuan. The cat is unruly, and it still looks obedient in front of him, but it becomes more courageous when it is far away." On the 3rd day of the first lunar month, 3 members of the Su family came back from Zhang City, and took a taxi to the warm community at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Xie Jingyuan had just finished washing his face, when he heard Grandma Tao talking to Su Minggan outside. He wiped his hands and came out, and sure enough, he saw Su Minggan and Tang Shiwei standing outside. Su Minggan was holding the sleeping Su Miao Miao in his arms. The weather was extremely cold, and she was tightly wrapped. From his angle, he could only see the messy hair on top of her head. "Come on in, come here for dinner later, it's almost dark, don't start fire yourself." "Thank you, then we will not be polite to you." "Hey, give Miao Miao to me, sleep here, anyway, I'll come over when I wake up, you two go to pack your things first." "All right, you should be more involved." Grandma Tao took Su Miao Miao, waved to Su Minggan and his wife, turned and entered the house. After the door closed, Grandma Tao hugged Su Miao Miao, turned her head to see her grandson. She smiled and said, "Miao Miao is back, Wei Jingyuan is with us again." Xie Jingyuan looked indifferent. With the departure of Xie Rong and Qiao Lily, the master bedroom became Xie Jingyuan's room again. Grandma Tao carried Su Miao Miao over, took off Su Miao Miao's heavy coat, and directly put Su Miao Miao into Xie Jingyuan's bed. "Don't catch a cold after tossing along the way." Looking at Su Miao Miao's flushed face, Grandma Tao was a little worried. Xie Jingyuan didn't think so. He and Su Miao Miao were both practicing. Even if the thin spiritual energy could only help them improve their physique, it was more than enough to resist some common minor diseases. After covering Su Miao Miao with the quilt, Grandma Tao and Aunt Song went to prepare dinner together. Xie Jingyuan stood by the bed, his eyes turned on Su Miao Miao's face. He always felt that she seemed a little fatter after not seeing her for just a few days. When the smell of cooking came from the kitchen, Su Miao Miao, who had been sleeping since the plane, sniffed and finally woke up. The adults were all in the living room. Su Miao Miao sat up rubbing her eyes, and saw Xie Jingyuan sitting beside the bed meditating. He turned his back to the door, and if anyone came, he could finish his meditation right away. In his previous life, Xie Jingyuan also had a majestic face when he meditated, but this little Xie Jingyuan in front of him only made people feel that he was serious. However, when Xie Jingyuan opened his eyes, so Meow Meow didn't dare to have any more teasing thoughts. Master Dao, why am I at your house? So Meow Meow looked around and asked suspiciously. Xiejing Yuan just said, it's time to eat, go wash your face. It was cold, and so Meow Meow, who had just woken up, was lazy and didn't want to move. Hearing the voices of parents talking in the living room, so Meow Meow called out, Mom! Tang Shiwei came over soon, put a coat on her daughter, and carried her to wash her face. Xiejing Yuan stood at the door of the bathroom, looked at So Meow Meow enjoying herself with peace of mind, then at Tang Shiwei with a gentle face, and walked away silently. When So Meow Meow arrived at the dinner table, she seemed to be a different person. Except for green vegetables, everything else she ate was delicious. Meow Meow, is Grandma's house fun? Grandma Tao asked with a smile. So Meow Meow nodded, it's fun, we went on a big boat, and Grandpa took me fishing. Grandma Tao, then do you miss Grandma? So Meow Meow blinked her eyes and said sweetly, I think about it. Seeing Xiejing Yuan look over, so Meow Meow cleverly added, I miss my brother too. Xiejing Yuan ate with lowered eyes. The atmosphere at the dinner table was warm. After the meal, Grandma Tao went to get the New Year gift and lucky money she gave So Meow Meow. Tang Shiwei also prepared for Xiejing Yuan. The two children sit together and unwrap presents. Xiejing Yuan's is a set of Story King. He loves to read books. This is already a fact recognized by the two elders. Xiejing Yuan thanked him politely. What So Meow Meow received was a pearl bracelet with a little golden pig the size of a peanut hanging on it. It was full of strings of sparkling little pearls, and So Meow Meow let out a wow that had never been seen in the world. Tang Shiwei, your gift is too expensive, Grandma Tao, it's not for you, as long as Meow Meow likes it. So Meow Meow liked it, and immediately put the pearl bracelet on her wrist. It was loose, and Grandma Tao helped her tighten it. Thank you Grandma, I like your gift the most. So Meow Meow leaned into Grandma Tao's arms and said coquettishly. Grandma Tao nodded her little mouth, Grandma also likes Meow Meow's sweet mouth the most. Before the 5th day of the new year, there were still people setting off firecrackers at night. Amidst the sound of firecrackers, So Meow Meow and Xiejing Yuan were 1 year older, and they would be able to go to kindergarten in September. September 1st is a big day. So Meow Meow and Xiejing Yuan are going to kindergarten. As So Mingyan is her own boss, she can be late for work, while Tang Shiwei works overtime in advance, and deliberately spares the morning of the 1st just to send her daughter to kindergarten. At 5:30 in the morning, Tang Shiwei and So Mingyan woke up almost at the same time. The child was going to school on the first day, and the couple were a little anxious. What if Meow Meow is being bullied? Kindergarten is a big pot of rice, and it is definitely not as delicious as home-cooked food. Young parents lie on the bed, talk to each other, and comfort themselves after anxiety. At 6:30, the couple got up, So Mingyan went to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. Tang Shiwei quietly pushed open the door of the second bedroom. Seeing her daughter sleeping soundly, she stared silently for a minute, and then quietly closed the door. At 7 o'clock, breakfast was ready. Tang Shiwei went to see her daughter again, but she was still asleep. So Mingyan said cruelly, "Wake up, we are all in school, we must develop a good habit of going to bed early and waking up early." Tang Shiwei, then call me, I'm not as cruel as you. So Mingyan. A few minutes later, So Meow Meow was woken up by her cruel father. She didn't feel like getting up, but she was very lazy when she just woke up. So Mingyan and Tang Shiwei worked together to wash and dress their daughter, and when So Meow Meow sat at the dining table, she was completely awake. So Mingyan accompanied her daughter to dinner. Tang Shiwei opened the door, wanting to see the situation in 302 next door. Before knocking on the door, Grandma Tao opened the door and came out. Xiejing Yuan walked behind, carrying a small black school bag, fully dressed she, with a clean and handsome face, and a steady temperament, very similar to a senior elementary school student. It's so early, Miao Miao is still eating. Grandma Tao and Xie Yuan came to 301 and waited. Su Ming'an was full of expectations for Xie Yuan, and sat down with various instructions. Jing Yuan is a little man, if someone bullies Miao Miao, you can call the teacher to help Miao Miao, okay? Xie Yuan looked at Su Miao Miao who was still cooking, and nodded. Grandma Tao, don't worry, I've told Jing Yuan that he is an older brother and he will definitely take care of his younger sister. Xie Yuan was caught between the two of them, and wanted to say that Su Miao Miao was not as weak and well-behaved as they thought, and it was more likely that she was bullying others. At 7:30, the 3 majors and the 2 minors went downstairs. The kindergarten is located on the edge of a nearby community, and it has only been in use for 5 years. The facilities inside are very new, and the teachers are all professional kindergarten graduates with experience. The 2 chose this kindergarten mainly for the convenience of pick-up and drop-off due to the short distance. Parents brought their children to the kindergarten one after another. The children in the middle class and the senior class were talking and laughing. The ones who showed nervousness or started to cry were the new students in the primary class this year. Su Miao Miao looked around curiously, while Xie Yuan looked indifferent. No matter what kind of reaction they were, they both stood out among this year's freshmen. To take care of the emotions of the new students, parents can send the children to the classroom to familiarize themselves with it for a while before leaving. Xie Yuan and Su Miao Miao were assigned to the second class of the small class. There are 4 solid wood desks in the bright classroom, and 6 small chairs surround each desk, 3 on each side. Parents assist children to pick a table. Xie Yuan looked at Su Miao Miao. Su Miao Miao picked a desk near the window, and also chose the seat closest to the window, so that she could bask in the sun. She has always liked to bask in the sun, and practicing can improve her physique in all aspects. Her skin is white and tender, and no matter how much sun exposure she has, it will not turn dark. Xie Yuan sat next to her. The 2 sat down obediently. Su Ming'an, Tang Shiwei and Grandma Tao looked at each other. The other children were crying and clasping the hands of their parents, grandparents and grandparents tightly, but the 2 of them had no such troubles at all. Even because the children were so obedient, it seemed that they were unnecessary to stay here. When they were embarrassed, other parents would be envious, pointing at Xie Yuan and Su Miao Miao to coax their children. Look, the little brothers and sisters over there are not crying, so don't cry either, okay? Ah! I want to go home. The cries kept coming and going, and Su Miao Miao felt that it was noisy, so she shouted unhappily, "Don't cry anymore." The girl with a sweet and well-behaved appearance is full of anger when she loses her temper, which frightens Su Ming'an. Is the daughter so fierce? With this shout, the crying in the classroom really stopped, but before Su Miao Miao was satisfied, the children started crying again. Su Miao Miao covered her ears angrily. Xie Yuan looked at her and said to the 3 parents, "Go back, Miao Miao and I will take care of ourselves." Listen, these words are not something ordinary 3-year-olds can say. Grandma Tao trusted her grandson very much, and Tang Shiwei and Su Ming'an felt that there was nothing wrong with it, so the 3 left the kindergarten together. Su Miao Miao's table still lacks 4 classmates. There are also other quieter children who were brought here by the parents. They are 3 little girls and a little boy. The boy's name is Lin Xi, and the girls are Zhou Yao, Cheng Yu, and Feng Xiaohu. Lin Xi was white and clean, his temperament was somewhat similar to Xie Yuan's, but he was more reserved, not as calm as Xie Yuan. Lin Xi sat in the empty seat next to Xie Yuan, and the 3 little girls sat opposite. Su Miao Miao looked at each of them, not interested, and lay down on the table to go to sleep. "Brother, my name is Cheng Yu, what's your name?" Cheng Yu was lively and enthusiastic, and took the initiative to talk to Xie Yuan. Xie Yuan was a long-time Taoist, and he was always cold, but he was still lenient and polite to others, and he sat upright and replied, "Xie Jing Yuan." Cheng Yu looked at So Miao Miao, "What about her?" "Xie Jing Yuan," So Miao Miao. "Why did she sleep when she first came?" "Xie Jing Yuan, I don't know." The surroundings were so noisy, So Miao Miao couldn't fall asleep. She stared at the blue sky outside the window with big eyes, and listened casually to what Xie Jing Yuan was talking to other children. She is no stranger to Xie Jing Yuan, who is so patient. People often go to Kingxiu Temple to offer incense. Some people in the family are sick, have bad luck, are pregnant and want to have a safe pregnancy, etc. The common people will come to Kingxiu Temple whenever they have prayers. In front of those common people, Xie Jing Yuan knew all the answers, even though his answers were very concise and clear, not a single word was redundant. So Miao Miao listened impatiently and always found a comfortable place to hide. After all the parents had left and the 3 teachers had calmed down the crying children, the kindergarten classes officially started. So Miao Miao is not interested in programs that require the cooperation of several children. Unless the partner is Xie Jing Yuan, she will not want to cooperate with a real 3-year-old. The teacher soon discovered So Miao Miao's stubbornness. Fortunately, Xie Jing Yuan was willing to help, but So Miao Miao actually listened to him. The class in the classroom is over, and the teacher takes the children outside to play games. Today's game is throwing the handkerchief. So Miao Miao squatted on the ground next to Xie Jing Yuan. It was interesting to see other children chasing after her, and she also wanted to. Cats have a keen sense of hearing. Although So Miao Miao, a century-old cat demon, left her cat body after reincarnation, she has inherited many abilities that belong to cats, such as hearing and smell. When the little boy Lin Xi approached, So Miao Miao could tell his slowed pace, and when the handkerchief fell down, she also felt a gust of wind. Before the handkerchief touched the ground, So Miao Miao had already turned around, grabbed the handkerchief with her little hand, and jumped up like a cat. Lin Zikai ran past 3 students before being caught by So Miao Miao. So Miao Miao ran so fast that she threw Lin Xi down. The little boy was in pain first, then met So Miao Miao's proud eyes, and burst into tears. So Miao Miao became famous in the first battle, and the other children did not dare to throw handkerchiefs behind her. So Miao Miao, who couldn't participate in the game, pouted. Finally, Cheng Yu put the handkerchief behind Xie Jing Yuan. So Miao Miao looked over eagerly. Xie Jing Yuan acted as if nothing had happened. Even if a child reminded him, he would pretend to be stupid. Cheng Yu ran back to his original position smoothly. Xie Jing Yuan also lost completely. In the new round, he should throw the handkerchief. "Throw me away." So Miao Miao reminded him softly when he stood up. Xie Jing Yuan glanced at her and started to walk counterclockwise. The children squatting in a circle all looked at him nervously, only So Miao Miao's eyes were full of expectation and suggestion. Xie Jing Yuan didn't want to play this kind of game. If other children find that he runs faster than So Miao Miao, they probably won't put handkerchiefs behind him again. At the same time, he can also show So Miao Miao his strength and continue to deter her demon heart. Xie Jing Yuan walked slowly, and when he passed So Miao Miao, he put down his handkerchief. So Miao Miao kept twisting her neck to look at him. When the handkerchief fell, her eyes lit up, she grabbed the handkerchief and chased him out. Xie Jing Yuan usually behaved too quietly, meditating at every turn, causing So Miao Miao to underestimate his speed, until she went all out to chase him around but failed to catch Xie Jing Yuan. Watching Xie Jing Yuan return to his position, So Miao 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 realized the gap between himself and Taoist Xie Jing Yuan. A little bit unwilling. It was true that Xie Jing Yuan was stronger in her previous life, but in this life, everyone has been reincarnated as an ordinary person. She is not as good as Xie Jing Yuan in terms of knowledge. How can she lose to a bookworm like him in running and jumping? It must be because she just underestimated the enemy. So Miao Miao ran up and threw the handkerchief behind Xie Jing Yuan. Familiar footsteps came from behind. So Meow Meow gritted her teeth, ran forward with all her strength without looking back. Seeing that she was about to return to her position, someone grabbed her wrist suddenly, so Meow Meow's body tilted, and she fell to the ground together with Xie Jingyuan. She was below, Xie Jingyuan pressed on top of her. A little bit of pain is not important anymore, so Meow Meow pouted and stared at Xie Jingyuan above her head. Xie Jingyuan was still worried about whether she would cry. Seeing the frustration and unwillingness in her eyes, he smiled, moved aside, and helped her up. The teacher came over to check on the bodies of the two, and made sure that they were not injured. The teacher called on other children to applaud the two, and they ran very fast. Xie Jingyuan returned to his original position, while So Meow Meow continued to throw the handkerchief. She didn't provoke Xie Jingyuan anymore, she chose a child at random, and if she won, she would sit back beside Xie Jingyuan. No one approached them anymore. One of the two got peace as they wished, and the other had to watch others chase after them in disappointment. At noon, the children washed their hands and sat obediently at their desks, waiting for the teacher to scoop rice into their trays. The staple food is rice, with 2 dishes, 1 meat and 1 vegetarian, and 1 apple per person. Just as Xie Jingyuan picked up the chopsticks, So Meow Meow suddenly leaned into his ear, "Taoist, can I give you my vegetables?" Xie Jingyuan looked at her and said, "You can't be picky eaters." So Meow Meow, "You're still a picky eater, you don't even like meat, it's just right for us to exchange." Xie Jingyuan could not argue. So Meow Meow happily picked out his braised pork and gave him her vegetables. Sitting opposite, Cheng Yu seemed unhappy seeing Xie Jingyuan, thinking that So Meow Meow was bullying Xie Jingyuan. She straightened her waist, glared at So Meow Meow and said, "You can't bully others, you give Xie Jingyuan's flesh back to him." So Meow Meow retorted, "Who bullied someone? He gave it to me voluntarily." Cheng Yu didn't believe it, and looked at Xie Jingyuan. Xie Jingyuan nodded. So Meow Meow smiled triumphantly. Cheng Yu pouted, and said to Xie Jingyuan, "Do you like to eat green vegetables? Can I give you my green vegetables too?" It happened that she didn't like vegetables either. Xie Jingyuan, "No need." After speaking, he lowered his eyes to eat. So Meow Meow ate more seriously. The two of them finished eating first, leaving the children who had messed up the rice grains, and went to wash their hands together. It's time to take a nap after eating. There are 2 long rows of small beds, each child sleeps on one alone. So Meow Meow cleverly picked the innermost one, and directed Xie Jingyuan to lie on the bed next to her. The other children were too dirty, and she liked Xie Jingyuan's breath. Not long after lying down, Xie Jingyuan was still thinking about something, but So Meow Meow had already fallen asleep. It was almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and So Mingan came outside the kindergarten, and saw Grandma Tao standing with several old ladies and grandfathers. So Mingan waved to Grandma Tao and joined the baby pickup team. "Grandma Tao, today is the first day. It's fine if you find time to pick up Meow Meow. You will start working hard tomorrow. Don't you feel relieved to leave Meow Meow to me?" If Su Mingan and Tang Shiwei really had concerns about this arrangement at the beginning, after 2 years of trusteeship, they would have put their minds back on it. Su Mingan, "Okay, we won't be polite to you anymore, anyway, you are Meow Meow's grandmother, and in the future Meow Meow will earn money from work, so I have to honor you." "Grandma Tao, Meow Meow just went to kindergarten, you've thought so far." Chatting, it's 4 o'clock. The small class came out first, and the teachers of each class led a little tale. So Mingan was tall, and saw So Meow Meow and Xie Jingyuan walking at the tail of the second class. There are more than 20 students in a class. Xie Jingyuan is not the tallest, but he is the most sensible. The teacher arranged for him to walk behind, so that the children in the middle would not run around and fall behind. The primary school students held hands according to the teacher's request, and So Meow Meow and Xie Jingyuan also walked out holding hands. As soon as she left the school gate, So Miao Miao threw away Xie Jingyuan, smiled and threw herself into her father's arms. Every parent was talking to their children, and the school gate was buzzing. So Mingan hugged his daughter in one hand, and Xie Jingyuan, who was too late to object, walked a little further away from Grandma Tao, and the surroundings became quiet. So Mingan put Xie Jingyuan down and asked the two children about their school. Things in here. Did Miao Miao fight with anyone? No, I won't bully people. While So Miao Miao blurted out her denial, she glanced at Xie Jingyuan. Really, she doesn't look like a bad cat who likes to bully people casually. What So Mingan is worried about is that her daughter is being bullied by others. So Miao Miao shook her head. Those children seemed to be afraid of her. Some thought their mother was going to cry. She glared at her. The child held back her tears, walked away from her and continued to cry. Grandma Tao asked Xie Jingyuan, "Does Jingyuan like kindergarten?" Xie Jingyuan nodded expressionlessly. So Miao Miao, our teacher likes my brother very much, and asked him to be the class monitor to help manage discipline. So Mingan exaggerated, "Wow, Jingyuan is so powerful." Xie Jingyuan. He doesn't want to be the class monitor, but he doesn't know why many children like to ask him for help. Faced with innocent children, Xie Jingyuan doesn't mind helping them put on their shoes or wash their hands, but the teacher misunderstood him as willing to help others and called them by name. Let him be the monitor. Staring at one So Miao Miao is already tiring enough, but if Xie Jingyuan is patient, he will be exhausted if he manages to restrain more than 20 people. So Mingan sent them to the community. He had to meet a client and left in a hurry. Grandma Tao took So Miao Miao with one hand and Xie Jingyuan with the other, and went back to 302. Last month, Grandma Tao fired Aunt Song and brought it herself. The children are very good, and even Xie Jingyuan can tell stories to So Miao Miao. Grandma Tao only needs to take care of 3 meals a day and wash clothes, which is about the same level of labor as her living alone. Jingyuan, take Miao Miao to wash your hands, Grandma will get you clothes. Xie Jingyuan brought So Miao Miao to the bathroom in the living room. He stepped on the small stool, first wet a light yellow towel and handed it to So Miao Miao. Mom and Dad were away, and Grandma Tao was tired of taking care of them, and it was basically useless to be coquettish with Xie Jingyuan. So Miao Miao silently took the towel and wiped her face and hands. Xie Jingyuan washed it once, and asked her to wipe it again. After So Miao Miao finished wiping, she threw the towel to him and went to find Grandma Tao by herself. The child stayed in the kindergarten for a day, and the clothes would be more or less dirty. Grandma Tao closed the door and helped So Miao Miao change into clean clothes. Xie Jingyuan no longer needed Grandma Tao's help, so he went back to the house to change. Grandma Tao is going to make dinner, so she asks Xie Jingyuan to play with So Miao Miao. When Xie Jingyuan came to the living room, he saw So Miao Miao lying on the carpet, raised his sleepy eyelids to look at him, and closed them again. The nap time in the kindergarten is only 2 hours, but So Miao Miao usually sleeps for about 3 hours at home. Cats love to sleep, and one day is not enough to get her used to a new nap time. Xie Jingyuan didn't disturb her, and sat beside him, reading a book by himself. The next day, Grandma Tao sent the children to the kindergarten alone. "Goodbye, Grandma." So Miao Miao sweetly waved to Grandma Tao, and followed Xie Jingyuan inside. Other parents are still trying to coax their children to go in obediently. Seeing this scene, some people envy Grandma Tao too much. Why are your children so obedient? Have you bothered to teach them? Grandma Tao smiled modestly. No, it's all natural. The two of them have been good since they were young. Other parents. So Miao Miao didn't know the situation at the school gate, followed Xie Jingyuan to the classroom, took off the small school bag, and hung it on a row of wooden hooks on the wall. There were already 6 or 7 school bags hanging on the wooden hook. So Miao Miao sniffed and smelled a very tempting fragrance. Seeing her staring at a school bag, Xie Jingyuan asked, "What's wrong?" So Miao Miao, it's nothing. After speaking, she ran briskly to her seat. In-class activities still can't attract her. So Meow Meow likes to sleep on the table by herself. For a student like her who refuses to cooperate but is very obedient, the teacher usually doesn't care. Soon, it was time to play in the yard, and the children rushed out happily. So Meow Meow was still lying on her stomach. Xie Jingyuan pushed her arm. So Meow Meow tilted her head and looked at him sleepily. Go, I want to sleep a little longer. Xie Jingyuan, no. She must look like she is going to school, and she cannot be allowed to develop this bad habit. When the teacher is teaching some necessary content, he will not allow So Meow Meow to sleep in class. His eyes are cold and irresistible. So Meow Meow pursed her lips, sat limply, and stood up again. The teacher first let the children play games by themselves. There are various amusement facilities in the kindergarten, which are very suitable for children to release their energy. So Meow Meow glanced around, pointed to the swing frame and said, I want to play on the swing. Xie Jingyuan, okay, go to the queue first. After queuing for a few minutes, it was So Meow Meow's turn. She sat on it, and Xie Jingyuan helped her push it. On another day, So Meow Meow would not get tired of playing all morning, but today she has something on her mind. Hearing that the next child complained that she had been playing for too long, So Meow Meow immediately jumped down, turned her head and said to Xie Jingyuan, I'm going to slide, you can help them push it. After she finished speaking, she ran away. Squad leader, can you push me too? A little boy from the second class asked Xie Jingyuan expectantly. Xie Jingyuan, squad leader Xie, okay. So Meow Meow played on the slide once, looked towards the swing frame, saw Xie Jingyuan surrounded by a circle of children. So Meow Meow turned her eyes, and slipped back to the classroom of the second class of the small class without a trace. Everyone is playing outside, and the classroom is empty. So Meow Meow went to the place where the school bag was hung, sniffed, the thing was still there. She stopped by a blue school bag, pressed the school bag with one hand, and unzipped the zipper of the school bag with the other. She reached in and fumbled for it, and when she took it out, there was an extra pack of snacks in her hand. There were densely packed small characters printed on the snack bag. So Meow Meow didn't know it and had no patience to read it. Her eyes were shining brightly on the few dried fishes in the transparent bag. So what if the bag is sealed, and don't even try to block the smell of fish in front of a cat? So Meow Meow pulled up her school bag, clutched the dried fish and returned to her seat, bowed her head and began to tear the package. There is a gap in the bag, but the plastic texture is too slippery, and So Meow Meow is too small. The harder you try, the more slippery it will become, and the slipperier it will be, the harder it will be torn apart. Exhausted of patience, So Meow Meow was so angry that she threw the packaging bag on the ground. If she was still a cat, she would definitely meow a few times in anger now. After getting angry, the dried fish still needs to be eaten. So Meow Meow wiped her hands on her clothes, picked up the packaging bag, and continued to work hard with her head down. She was so focused that she didn't even notice that someone was approaching. It wasn't until a pair of familiar shoes came into view that So Meow Meow raised her head in shock. Xie Jingyuan looked at her coldly. So Meow Meow subconsciously hid her hands behind her back. Where did you find it? Xie Jingyuan stared at her and asked. So Meow Meow's eyes flickered. Xie Jingyuan didn't need an answer, he pointed to the row of school bags and said, put it back, and you won't be allowed to steal anything in the future. So Meow Meow bit her lip, showing stubbornness on her small face. Xie Jingyuan just continued to preach, being a thief, if this matter is discovered, not only will you be ashamed, but your uncles and aunts will also be ridiculed because of you. They raised you, you can't repay your kindness. In So Meow Meow's mind, the gentle faces of So Mingan and Tang Shiwei emerged. Those were her parents, the best people in her life. The stubbornness in her eyes disappeared. So Meow Meow glanced at Xie Jingyuan. walked to the blue school bag with her head down, and put the dried fish back. Let's go. Xie Yuan was already standing at the door, looked at her and said. So Miao Miao returned the things willingly, but she was not in a good mood at all. The dried fish was too fragrant, and she felt uncomfortable if she couldn't eat it. Listless, she chose a pink bench to sit down, and after a while, she lay down again, her legs and arms curled up, looking from the back, like a lying cat. Meow meow, is there something uncomfortable? The teacher found out about this situation and hurriedly asked. So Meow Meow listlessly said, no discomfort. The teacher touched her forehead and asked, then why don't you play games? So Meow Meow, it's not fun. The teacher checked it carefully, and felt that So Meow Meow did not have any major problems, it was just that her mental state. Teacher, go and see other students, So Meow Meow is angry with me. Xie Yuan stood beside the teacher, not wanting to arouse the teacher's worry, he took the initiative to explain. The teacher was surprised, really, why did you make Meow Meow angry? Xie Yuan pursed his lips. The teacher persuaded them for a while, and found that the two children were quite stubborn, so they had to leave, looking this way worriedly from time to time. So Meow Meow has already smelled Xie Yuan's breath, but now she doesn't want to talk to anyone, and keeps her eyes closed. Xie Yuan glanced at the children around him, then at her again, and asked coldly, are you not convinced by my words? So Meow Meow barely opened a slit of her eyes, and said weakly, no, the Taoist priest is right, I shouldn't steal things, but I want to eat that little dried fish, it smells delicious. Only then did Xie Yuan realize that she made this gesture because she was too greedy. Snacks like that are not good for your health. Xie Yuan explained that he went to the mall with Grandma Tao and heard some parents who refused to buy snacks for their children. For food, it is best to eat fresh, nutritious, and healthy food. Grandma Tao never let them eat leftovers. So Meow Meow covered her stomach and looked at him wrongly, I just want to eat. Xie Yuan wanted to say something more, but tears welled up in her eyes, watery. Xie Yuan pursed his lips. After being reincarnated for so long, he had never seen So Meow Meow cry except when she was vaccinated and took a bath. That packet of dried fish is really so delicious in Maoin's eyes? Without the dried fish, So Meow Meow's listlessness lasted until lunchtime. After washing her hands and sitting on the seat, So Meow Meow got down again. Is So Meow Meow sick? At the 6-person table, Cheng Yu was the most enthusiastic and talked the most, looking at So Meow Meow suspiciously and asking. Both Lin Xi and Zhou Yao looked at Xie Yuan. Although it was only 2 days since school started, the children in class 2 already knew that So Meow Meow and Xie Yuan were best friends. Xie Yuan, she's hungry. This is a very convincing explanation. At this moment, Feng Xiao came back, and there was still some distance from the 6-person table. So Meow Meow suddenly raised her head and stared at Feng Xiao with big eyes. With her like this, Xie Yuan and the others also looked at Feng Xiao at the same time. Feng Xiao was a little flustered, her face flushed, and she slowly returned to her seat with a guilty conscience. Cheng Yu asked So Meow Meow, why do you look at Feng Xiao? So Meow Meow swallowed, and moved her gaze to Feng Xiao's left pocket. Feng Xiao looked nervously at the teachers who had just come out with rice bowls, raised a finger at So Meow Meow, and said, don't tell the teacher, I'll give you one later. The blue school bag with the dried fish belonged to Feng Xiao. She felt that So Meow Meow must have discovered the snacks she brought. So Meow Meow nodded again and again, seeing Feng Xiao also felt very kind. Before this, she had never paid attention to other children in the class. After the teachers finished their meals, they also sat in front of the classroom to eat. Feng Xiao secretly bit open the snack bag with his teeth, the aroma of the dried fish became more intense, and the children at the other table couldn't smell it, but the aroma made So Meow Meow stare closely at Feng Xiao's hand. There were 5 small dried fishes in total. Feng Xiao gave one to Su Miao Miao, and then gave one to Xie Jingyuan, the squad leader who liked to help them. Lin Xi lowered his head to eat the rice in the bowl. Zhou Yao wanted to eat but was too embarrassed to speak. Cheng Yu is straightforward, I want to too. Feng Xiao was a little afraid of her, so he shared one with her, and quickly ate the last 2. It was the first time for Su Miao Miao to eat this kind of dried fish. The small dried fish is deep fried so fragrant and crispy that the bones of the fish are broken when chewed. Su Miao Miao ate very cherishedly. After eating the whole fish, there were still some dried fish oil stains on her fingers. Such fingers are almost the same as dried fish in Su Miao Miao's eyes. Just when she couldn't resist the temptation and was about to secretly lick it, Xie Jingyuan took his small dried fish and put it in Su Miao Miao's bowl. Over rice. Joy fell from the sky. Su Miao Miao smiled at him, and then happily ate the new dried fish. Xie Jingyuan prepared a small wet towel, and as soon as Su Miao Miao finished eating, he passed the towel over to hint her to wipe her hands. Su Miao Miao, who had relieved her hunger for a while, regained her good mood, and while wiping her hands, she asked Feng Xiao, "Where did your dried fish come from?" Feng Xiao, "My family, our family has a supermarket, and recently this kind of small dried fish has been sold." Su Miao Miao, "Where is your supermarket?" Feng Xiao, "Are you going to buy it? I'll take you there after school." Su Miao Miao likes Feng Xiao so much, the little fish is dry, so she also likes Feng Xiao. When she takes a nap, she doesn't want to be next to Xie Jingyuan, but asks Feng Xiao to lie on the bed next to her. Xie Jingyuan silently carried his quilt to Feng Xiao's side. In the afternoon, Su Miao Miao was still inseparable from Feng Xiao, pulling Feng Xiao to play games together. Lining up after school, Su Miao Miao stopped being attached to Xie Jingyuan and stood in the middle of the queue with Feng Xiao holding hands. Feng Xiao's original hand-holding partner was a little girl, and before that little girl realized that she was looking for Xie Jingyuan, Xie Jingyuan pulled Lin Xi to his side. Grandma Tao and other parents stood outside the kindergarten, and noticed that Su Miao Miao was not with her grandson. Grandma Tao was very surprised. "Grandma, I want to go shopping in Feng Xiao's supermarket." "Mom, Su Miao Miao wants to go shopping in our supermarket." Holding hands, Su Miao Miao and Feng Xiao said to their parents in unison. Grandma Tao smiled, "What does Miao Miao want to buy?" Su Miao Miao, "Small dried fish, very delicious." When Feng's mother heard it, she nodded Feng Xiao's head, dumbfounded. "Didn't you say that you are not allowed to bring it to the kindergarten? Why are you disobedient?" Feng Xiao hugged her mother's leg, blushing in embarrassment. Grandma Tao held Su Miao Miao in one hand and Xie Jingyuan in the other, and followed Feng's mother and daughter to the supermarket. The Feng family lives in the next-door community, and the supermarket is just outside that community. Feng Xiao enthusiastically dragged Su Miao Miao to the shelf where the dried fish was placed. "There are fried snacks here, such as chicken feet, beef jerky, etc." Su Miao Miao is only interested in small dried fish, pointing to the shelf above, and said to Grandma Tao, "Grandma, I want it all." Xie Jingyuan frowned. Grandma Tao likes children, but she also pays attention to principles. She looked at Su Miao Miao and said, "If you eat too much of this, your stomach will hurt. You can only buy 1 pack." Su Miao Miao pouted. "Grandma Tao, either buy a pack, or don't buy it, you choose." Su Miao Miao compromised decisively, "Then buy a pack." Grandma Tao asked her grandson again, "Does Jingyuan want to eat?" Xie Jingyuan looked at Su Miao Miao and nodded. Grandma Tao took 2 packs of dried fish, bought salt, soy sauce, and toilet paper, and went to the cashier to pay. Father Feng smiled, "They are all Xiao's classmates, so I will give them the dried fish." Grandma Tao, "That can't be done, otherwise I won't buy any of them." The two talked about it, and finally Father Feng gave Grandma Tao a 20% discount, which was a discount for the first time shopping. After saying goodbye, one big and two small walked towards the warm community. In front of Grandma Tao, Xie Jingyuan didn't say anything. When she got home, Grandma Tao was cooking. Xie Jingyuan looked at So Miao Miao, who was sitting on the carpet eating dried fish with a serious face. A little snack is enough. If you are so greedy, if a stranger lures you into the car with dried fish, will you follow him? After chewing the dried fish in her mouth, So Miao Miao said plausibly, I'm not that stupid. Mom and Dad said you can't go with strangers. Now she is just a 3-year-old child with no strength to restrain her. So Miao Miao always keeps in mind her parents' instructions on safety. People in this world can even build airplanes, and the means of abducting children must be more varied than in ancient times. While talking, So Miao Miao dried up 5 small dried fish. So Miao Miao licked her lips and looked at Xie Jingyuan. The Taoist priest doesn't like fish, can you give me your bag of dried fish? Xie Jingyuan, this kind of snack can only be eaten once a week. So Miao Miao was very aware of his uncompromising temper, curled her lips, and muttered in a low voice, if you don't give it to me, I'll ask my parents to buy it for me. Xie Jingyuan, buy it. If you eat your teeth, then let your uncles and aunts take you to the hospital for injections and tooth extraction. So Miao Miao. Xie Jingyuan, go wash your mouth first, you smell fishy. So Miao Miao is a clean cat, as long as Xie Jingyuan shows such a disgusted expression, she will obediently clean it up. When she came back after washing her face, she saw Xie Jingyuan staring out of the window again. Dao Zhang, what are you thinking? So Miao Miao was quite curious about this question. Xie Jingyuan glanced at her and said, I'm thinking about how to make money, Grandma is getting old, we can't always spend her money. As for the pocket money given to him by Xierong, Xie Jingyuan handed it all over to Grandma Tao. He doesn't have any extra expenses at the moment, but So Miao Miao is greedy. Today she is greedy for dried fish, and tomorrow she may be greedy for other snacks, so as to prevent her from developing a bad habit of stealing. Xie Jingyuan feels that he needs to save some money to deal with her occasional needs. He arrested So Miao Miao and returned to the Taoist temple first, so Miao Miao was reincarnated with him. Xie Jingyuan had the responsibility to take care of the cat and not give her a chance to cause harm to the world. Is Grandma out of money? It doesn't matter, my parents have money, and I can ask them for it. So Miao Miao has no sense of money worries. As a cat, she is also very good at observing her surroundings. With the financial conditions of Su Mingan and Tang Shiwei, it is no problem to support her for a lifetime. Xie Jingyuan looked at her meaningfully, parents have the responsibility to raise you until the age of 18. After the age of 18, you have to learn to be self-reliant. So Miao Miao was ignorant. Xie Jingyuan went a little deeper, study hard, get admitted to a good university, and it will be easier to find a good job with a high salary after graduation. So Miao Miao understood the meaning of work. Couples like Su Mingan and Tang Shiwei have to go to work almost every day, stuck in one place, and can't go home as they please. So Miao Miao lay down, rubbed Xie Jingyuan's leg with the top of her head like a cat, faced him on her back and said, I don't want to work, when my parents don't support me, the priest will support me, okay? So Miao Miao, who hadn't fully understood the world's ways of life, really believed that her parents would abandon her when she was 18 years old. After all, she was a wild cat without parents in her previous life. If the cultivation base is still there, so Miao Miao can be self-reliant, but now that the cultivation base is gone, and she doesn't want to eat dirty mice, so Miao Miao wants to return to the way of life in Kingxiu Temple, and let Xie Jingyuan continue to provide her with food. Daily needs. Xie Jingyuan looked indifferent, I can raise cats, but you are a human being now, and as a human being, you must learn to support yourself. So Miao Miao sighed in disappointment. After all, being a cat is more comfortable than being a human. Evening is the time for So Meow Meow to love each other with her parents. Tang Shiwei sensitively noticed that her daughter looked at them tonight in a wrong way, as if she felt a little wronged. What's the matter with Meow Meow, is someone bullying you in the kindergarten? Tang Shiwei gave So Mingan a look and asked gently. So Mingan didn't care about it on the surface, but he actually raised his heart. If someone dared to bully his daughter, he would definitely vent his anger on her daughter's behalf. So Meow Meow's face was full of sadness. When I am 18, will my parents not want me? The way cat parents and cat mothers stop raising kittens is to drive them away and then disappear. Tang Shiwei, how could it be? Meow Meow is the daughter of mom and dad, so we have no choice but to have Meow Meow. So Mingan, that's right, Meow Meow told dad. Who told you this? So Meow Meow, brother, he said that you will only support me until I am 18, and then I will be self-reliant. Tang Shiwei smiled. Brother means, Meow Meow will be an adult at the age of 18, she can make some decisions on her own, and she can work and earn money after graduation, just like her parents. So Meow Meow blinked and confirmed, then, if I'm not good and don't want to work, will my parents continue to support me? So Mingan didn't think about it. Of course, dad will work hard to earn a lot of money, and it will be fine to raise Meow Meow for several lifetimes. Tang Shiwei coughed. Even though it was true, they also wanted to encourage their daughter to make progress. Could it be that they really expected her daughter to accomplish nothing? So Mingan understood what his wife meant, and quickly changed his words. But So Meow Meow already understood that in this life, she no longer has to worry about being abandoned by her parents. The Taoist said that because he didn't have a mother, and his father went with others, so he prepared to be self-reliant early. What a poor priest!